Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Kimberly Angel and we're here going to be checking out Rafayel's newest myth called Tears of Romirro. So as everybody has known here, Rafayel's newest myth event has dropped today, and luckily enough, within 40 pulls I was able to get one out of the 2 myth cards for his new set. So with the new change that they added for this myth, and I'm hoping that it will be like this going forward with the next new myths that come out, they did say that if you just get one out of the 2 cards, you're still now able to check out the story. Whereas beforehand, you needed both cards and to level up both cards to get the whole story. But with the new change, they decided that, oh, you just need one out of the 2 cards to get his story now, which I think is fantastic upgrade for this, considering it was always hard to get both cards and to level up both cards, but if you don't have enough resources to be able to level up the cards and get the myth shards to do the story. But now we're able to check it out essentially for free if you do get the card. So yeah, so that's what we're here today, because I was lucky enough to get one out of the 2 cards. I got Misty Lament as of right now. I'm not too sure if I'm going to pull more to get the other card, considering I was just lucky enough to get the first one within the free pulls that we got. Luckily we got 30 free pulls, 10 from the event, and 20 from the Chinese girlies. Congratulations to the Chinese girlies for topping, Love and Deepspace topped the Chinese charts. So because of that, we got in 20 free pulls out of that. So with that, plus I did one pull with a little bit of my gems, I was lucky enough to get one of the card. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So we're going to be checking out the story. Enough of me rambling about my intro right here. So it says, distant bells ring out at sea and land return to their ancient primal state. So let's go see what's going on with this. I'll preface that I don't know if this ties to the other myths really, because I'm not into the Rafayel lore, so I apologize if I don't know much. The Black Sea is about to devour the world. Humanity's last ark, the city of Romirro, is perched on a solitary island. There shall be a lunar eclipse, and at the end of the 3rd night, Romirro will be annihilated as it sinks below the ocean's waves. The tome of the sea god, which has foretold all worldly changes, announces the day in which humanity was submerged during the first night.
The sea god has abandoned us! He has abandoned everyone!
Oh god.
The sea god is the one who will make the ocean devour Romirro! He wants to destroy us!
He abandoned us!
Oh, we're gonna die! I don't wanna
Yeah,
die!
Oh my god. At the edge of the harbor, which has suffered years of erosion because of the sea winds, desperate people push the sea god statues they carved with their own hands into the abyss of waters. Temples have been abandoned, their altars smashed, precious collections of books and scrolls are naught but ashes and smoke. Over the centuries, the peoples facing the sea god and everything that was associated with him were swallowed by the rising tides. It was only a matter of time before they were abandoned and forgotten. The bride of the sea god suffered this fate as well. Ooh, was this like the aftermath?
The second night is already here. It won't be long until Romirro is submerged. It will be just as the prophecy says.
I was gonna say that, what if this is like the aftermath of what happens to, like, MC?
The citizenry is mired in unrest. Should this continue, chaos will inevitably unfold. My lord, we must find a way to soothe them.
Huh. It's only an eclipse. There's nothing to worry about. In fact, gather all the citizens and tell them. The tome of the sea god has revealed a new prophecy. We must hold the wave year ritual and have the bride of the sea god make an announcement.
Hmm?
Did you hear that? Bride of the sea god.
Oh, are they captured? The guards grab my arms and throw me to the ground. I stare at the intricate patterns that dot the hem of the Castillian's robes. The situation is ironic, and it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. In the past, he was Romirro's minister, whose loyalty to the city was unmatched. Yet he's now a cruel individual after the prophecy appeared in the Tome of the Sea God. Didn't you say the Tome of the Sea God spread lies and leads people astray? Not only is it untrustworthy, but you sealed it away in the temple.
These matters are of no concern to you. Romirro shall be reborn under the current Castellan. You will make that stone tablet reveal something and then recite those words.
Everything is at stake here, but you're still obsessed with your power as the Castellan. How pathetic.
Foolish lass. Do you think you still be alive if someone else could converse with the tome of the sea god? Play your part. You know very well what will become of you if you don't.
Wow. After hearing the heavy lock behind the door, I'm once again left alone in the tower. Suddenly, a gentle breeze... Whoa, what just... Okay. What it says? Suddenly, a gentle breeze swoops in. The blood on my face is wiped away. Okay, so
You're the bride of the sea god. Why are you letting humans mistreat you?
Oh. When did he appear? That title is nothing more than a pair of shackles. Why can't you be the groom of Kimiko instead? I don't remember when it started. At first, I thought the voice was a hallucination born from my lengthy imprisonment. But time passed, and the seagulls brought me seashells with strange patterns. That's when I became certain of his existence. He claims to be the sea god, but his voice was too youthful, too mysterious. I couldn't trust him. However, I found myself involuntarily anticipating his appearances. If anything, it would make my time here a little bit more bearable. And like a person who was fascinated by watching him go fish in a bowl, he approached me. He tested me, tempted my heart to yearn for freedom as I sat in a pit of despair. Okay, so we're currently like locked up, and somehow we connected. Like I said, lore-wise, I'm not gonna know a lot of stuff. I'm sorry, but okay.
Don't you want to escape? Tonight is your only chance.
Okay, so Rafayel is telling us that, you know, we can leave or forcefully leave, or maybe that's why the town is getting destroyed, because of us being locked up.
When the eclipse hangs high and the tides flow back, you only need to remember 2 things.
What things? What are you talking about? The sea breeze flips through the tattered pages on the table. It stops, and there I see a page covered in mysterious, intricate symbols.
The sea god's Summoneo staff, the sea's ritualis hymn. When the time comes, I will answer your call.
The last traces of his voice are buried by the horn. I look outside to see an anxious crowd gathering under the dilapidated tower. What do you mean? What do you want me to do? Are you still there? Silence falls over the tower. I squeeze my eyes shut and force myself to stay calm. His proposal is too sudden. It could be a trap as well. I'd be foolish not to question it. Even if it is a trap, does it matter? Is there anything more hopeless than being imprisoned here forever? I might as well take this gamble.
Rejoice, everyone!
Atop the tower, Hawk Ern raises the orb that symbolizes Romirro. His gaze sweeps over the port's towering embankments and the ships that with their black sails.
Do not fear this lunar eclipse. It heralds a new hope, a new future for Romirro. We will not crumble under the waves. We've cast aside the sea god and left behind our hollow faith. Now, our centuries of sacrifice have changed the ancient prophecy. You will see the truth with your own eyes.
Oh god, this is not gonna go well.
What?
The sea people are like ants. They're restless. A guard shoves me and I stumble to the edge of the tower. In that instant, the gazes below me, filled with disgust, fear, anxiety, and cold indifference, pierces me like arrows. Damn. I need to borrow the Summoneo staff. My lord, the horror within the tome of the sea god is faded. I need to use the sea god's Summoneo staff, or Summoneo staff? Oh, no, I'm gonna butcher this, sorry. to make the prophecy words manifest again.
The Wavier ritual doesn't require a sacred staff. Do not lie to me.
Tonight is the lunar eclipse. Without the Semino staff to protect us, should any signs resembling calamities appear, I deliberately lower my voice. At that moment, lightning tears through the clouds. The sea turns and massive waves crash onto the shore. You better listen to me. You know I have the power, so why the fuck are you just being a dick about it? A moment passes. The sea god's seminar staff, its old age apparent, is given to me. According to him, I need to sing the hymn. I brush away the dust from the staff and raise it towards the tomb of the sea god. Our silent universe awakens in the faint light where dusk and dawn meet and merge. The young and pure sea god descends upon the first wave surge. The ancient lyrics flow from my mouth as the staff slowly traces a totem-like pattern in the air. Suddenly, mysterious singing drifts through the biting sea wind. With my voice, it echoes from afar. Oh, he's here. Good, he didn't lie to me. A slight feeling of relief washes over me as I face the wind and sing even louder. He who commands the cycles of the sun, the moon, and the tides, he who guides souls to rest in distant realms.
She's singing the sea's ritualis hymn! That forbidden song! Guards! Seize her!
The guards lunge at me, but the staff emits a dazzling blue light that repels everyone. The sea god wields fire in the darkness. He is the blazing sun who ignites the lost night. Wow, this is cool! Look at it! Thunder crashes down upon the sea and enormous waves manifest. Heavy rainfall descends as the storm engulfs all of Romirro. Terror and chaos erupts around me. I clutch the staff tightly and continue to sing until a beam of light appears. It points to something under the towering waves. I brace myself before I leap into the ocean. Wow. He said he would greet me, but this is a little too violent for my liking. Black seawater twists into a massive vortex and carries me away. Disoriented, I stop swimming and let my body sink deeper into the ocean's depths. I lost track of time before a magnificent yet ruined structure gradually appears.
You're here at last.
Oh. A voice as cold as frigid sweet water drifts towards me. Ghostly light sweeps across the crumbling ruins. Like moonlight, it reflects in my eyes. Before me is a slowly swaying fishtail. It's so magnificent that everything I have ever considered beautiful in my life suddenly feels plain and unremarkable. Oh my god. Makes sense if you've been in jail for quite some time. A human body with a tail of a fish and the power to control the ocean. Are you the sea god?
My identity is of little importance.
Several heavy chains are wrapped around his body. Powerful ruins barely visible keep him immobilized.
I've saved your life. Now then, release the seals that bind me.
Only because he's chained up right now. Why would the sea god be imprisoned in a place like this? Oh wow.
I could be lying.
Look at him.
I can help you. But I can also let you drown in these abyssal waters to keep me company.
Oh my god, look at this man. This is majestic. I didn't even see that. That shit was so fucking quick. If I died, then no one else will save you.
I see you're unaware of what you've awakened.
The legends say the sea god bears a special mark. What is it? Oh. Oh.
I'll examine you like this when you're in shackles. I'll examine you like this when you're in shackles. Stop looking.
We want to look at you.
Stop looking.
The seals on your body are incredibly powerful. They're going so fast. Breaking them won't be easy.
Your power alone is no match for these. Its scale is as cold as the lonely moon. At dawn, it shall pierce your heart. The sea's ritualis hymn you sang, that is the answer.
Aren't you afraid I'll take your scale? Oh my god.
You shall
I take your scale and disappear without a trace.
find no hiding place wherever the sea flows.
Oh, he's glowing? Oh, his dagger! Oh! Oh. Oh my god! This power feels familiar.
This is the mark you've been searching for. But it was also a seal in another form.
Okay, so we have to use that to break you? To break you out?
The voice of the storm. Come to me.
Woo. Oh my god, this... Oh my god, the glowing effect is so fucking cool!
Again.
Oh my god, look at him! Oh, it looks so good.
Call out to me from the fathomless depths of the sea. Bestow the inextinguishable flame of vengeance.
Oh my god, let's go!
The sea god's revival has been completed. You've rewritten the fate of these waters. Starting from this moment, you are bound to me. You cannot turn back.
Oh my god, this is so freaking pretty. Oh my god, we started off chapter 1 like the... Oh my god, that was freaking gorgeous. What the hell? Okay. So we didn't even know, like, him yet here. Or at least it doesn't seem like it. Because we were just in prison. He was technically in prison too. But he was able to communicate with us. And told us to, like, go to him. And now we're bound together now. Okay. Something must have been happening for him, for the town to be like, oh, the sea god is now acting revenge on us or something. It was a lot. The storm's roar filters through the seawater and resonates as whales' distant songs. My body feels impossibly heavy, yet scenes from my dreams gradually comes into focus.
The tome of the sea god cannot be wrong. She is the sea god's bride and our only hope. We need her if Romirro is to survive.
Oh, okay.
She will be Romirro's future castellan, protect the land in the sea god's stead, and change the prophecy.
Well, they already had a plan ahead for her.
There's still over half a year until your coming-of-age ceremony, yet the gifts are already piling up. We've run out of space to store them. Everyone truly admires you from the bottom of their hearts, my lady.
She's the sea god's bride and was raised by the Castellan. Her knowledge and abilities are exceptional. She is kind and approachable. A wonderful person deserves all the best things in life.
Look at what our foolish devotion to the sea god brought. Death, disaster, and the prophecy that Romirro shall be submerged more quickly. The sea god will never save Romirro.
I wonder where this prophecy came from, though. And how the heck did they know that MC was the sea god bride? Like, where did this come from?
The bride of the sea god is nothing but a farce! She and the sea god will destroy Romirro!
They lied to us! Why would he do this? He's a liar! Run, my lady! Don't let them catch you!
Can you hear them? Everyone is asking for you to die. And yet, you're the only one who can communicate with the tome of the sea god. I won't let you suffer a miserable death.
Huh.
I'll spare you so long as you obey me. How does that sound?
I open my eyes. Brilliant white lighting dispels my chaotic nightmare and illuminates the scene before me. So they were treating her pretty much like royalty because they were like, oh, you're the sea god's bride, and you and the sea god is going to help save or protect Romirro. So she was technically treated really well. And then I guess something happened and they were like, oh, now we think that this was all a lie, the prophecy doesn't exist or whatever. And then they imprisoned her after that. And she's been in prison this whole time until the very first chapter where she fucking left and went to Rafayel. Okay. Rainwater flows through the window frames. It makes the carvings murals gradually reveal the lifelike faces of gods.
Are you awake?
The sea god looks at me, his beautiful tail having transformed into human legs at an unknown point in time. Okay, so he's not as a mermaid anymore. He can walk on land?
I have prepared a gift for you.
I'm just staring how he is. Oh my god, this is just... Look at... Oh my god, why is this so... I love it. He lifts me up and directs my gaze to the steps below. Harkern, his most trusted minister, the tower's guard captain. Those who have bullied and abused me are now on the ground. Bound, they crawl and struggle, their eyes filled with fear and despair.
Their lives are in your hands. Would you like to deal with them one by one?
His hand covers the back of mine. He guides me to raise my hand, and lightning gathers in my palm.
Ah!
Debris scatters, and the Castellan's crown clatters to the ground. The puddles on the floor bloom crimson.
Or would you rather finish them all at once?
My palm is quickly held again. Out of nowhere, raging waves rise in the center of the temple and engulfs everyone. Wow, he is so, intent on, hurting them. Watching them struggle as they suffocate, I feel a sense of satisfaction. However, an indescribable emotion wells up. The sea god already has a terrible reputation. Won't this make the people hate you more?
Lower your hand, then.
I pause before I hold his hand even tighter. I hear him chuckle as the illusory waves shimmer with rippling light. They reflect a cold emptiness in his eyes.
The faith of humans is nothing more than self-interest. They worship when they need something, and curse when they don't get what they want. Why should I care about reputations?
As if he had his fill of watching their death's throes, he releases my hand. The water vanishes.
They claimed I've abandoned this world. Very well. I'll let them be a witness to true annihilation.
Damn. Oh my god.
This is only the beginning. Don't you dare become merciful too swiftly.
You're overthinking it. I would never. The dying Castilian struggles to prop himself up. His gaze burns with a fury that could shoot flames.
You, if it weren't for me, you would have been executed. How dare you repay my kindness with betrayal?
Well, you locked me up, so it wasn't really a good thing either. So the land penned for slaughter is obligated to thank the butcher? You're insane. I pick up a sword from the ground and hurl it at him. The blade stabs his shoulder blade.
Ah! Don't forget, your life is still in my hands. If I die, you will be cursed to perish in agony.
Then we'll die together. Does it look like I'm scared? A swift death is better than living as a caged bird forever.
A curse.
The sea god lifts my chin and strokes my cheek. Tentacle-like bluish-green runes slowly appear.
You're referring to
Runes.
these crude patterns?
He curls his fingertips. His movements are gentle, yet the runes are being torn away from the cheeks. It hurts.
Stay still. Indeed, it's an ancient curse, but it's far too weak to control my bride.
I'm gonna love hearing me,
Close
I
your
guess
eyes.
I'm calling my is it bride. I don't know what it is. I'm already loving it. I hear an eerie sound as something is destroyed with pain.
What a terrible attempt of a trick.
When I open my eyes again, whiffs of murky mist still linger in the air. Nearby, the Castilian is suspended in midair. A water tendril tightens around his throat.
These magics can't be wielded by humans. Tell me where you found it.
What right do you have to judge me?
I won't tell you anything. You don't need to worry about asking again either.
Like, you're gonna be dead soon, so either you say something or not. Or you're just gonna perish.
Aren't you a god? Why are you destroying everything? The Muria, Whalefall City. Now you want to destroy this island!
Lemuria? Didn't the legends say the sea god lived there? In the sky, golden lightning freezes. Dark color waves surge. When the water recedes, the Castilian and the others have disappeared, I guess. Yeah, they vanished without a trace. Where have you taken them?
They're in a more appropriate place.
Why didn't you just kill Hawkern? A bloodstained crown slides into his hand and immediately
You were
crumbles to
imprisoned in
dust.
his cage. How many years?
It's been a long time. I don't remember.
If the hatred from that time could be offset by him dying instantly, I would happily grant your wish at this very moment.
I love how he's acting. You wouldn't offer me a gift without a reason. What is it that you want? Tell me.
You are my bride, aren't you?
He touches the pearls in my hair before he lowers his gaze.
Removing unsavory elements from my bride's life is my duty.
I love it. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna love hearing that constantly. As I debate whether I should confront him or try to exact information more subtly, a thunderous crash resounds outside the window. The storm has destroyed a distant embankment. Seawater rushes in like a roaring beast as it flows directly into the city. What is happening? This is only the second night. Romirro shouldn't be sinking now. The tome of the sea gods has been returned to the temple. I run there and I'm shocked that the wearers of the prophecy are emitting a faint glow.
This future was predetermined long ago. Whether it's the second or third night makes little difference.
He's like trying to rush it then.
You knew this day would come. Why are you surprised?
This place is my sanctuary. I don't want to die. Wow. But you wouldn't die, because he'll still protect you. So... this place is still my sanctuary. Regardless of what happens, I can't stand by and watch it be destroyed. Legends say that the sea god is all-powerful. He can overturn oceans and move mountains.
The fate of this world is predetermined, and legends are just legends. In any case, it hasn't been long since I was awakened. My powers haven't fully returned yet. Why should I risk my own life for a city that despises me? Mind you, I would have to defy a prophecy in the tome of the sea god.
So if he doesn't destroy it, then that means that the prophecy doesn't get fulfilled. Unless they make a new prophecy? What if you regain your powers?
Give me your hand.
A cold glint flashes as he cuts both our palms. He intertwines his fingers with mine, and our blood mixes. It drips onto the tome of the sea god. Golden light rises from the tome of the sea god like threads of silk. They unfurl in mid-air and weave together to form poetic words. Lemurians who seeketh absolute power, combat the treacherous tides, dive into the deep of pearls, find a true love. These were hidden prophecies in the tome. It makes sense now. Despite the fact that I've been conversing with the tome of the sea god many times, it can only decipher fragments and incomplete phrases. Yet what's more shocking is the meaning containing these words. I struggle to grasp the most crucial line. To find a true love, that means... The sea god appears more composed as he raises his hand to brush with the text and heal the wound on my hand.
You already know the answer, my beloved bride.
You knew you needed me to restore your power. That's why you gave me those gifts.
You're more clever than the humans I'm familiar with.
Now that I understand his intentions, I feel oddly relieved. According to the tomb, you regain your power and stop the sea from swallowing Romero if we fall in love?
As things stand, this is your only option.
I like how we're a bride to him, but we don't, at the moment, love him. Okay. Maybe I'm missing some plot points from the God of Tides myth, maybe, to this. But, like, I find it really interesting that we're, like, married to him, but we're not really, like, he obviously loves us, but it doesn't seem like we love him right now. But falling in love doesn't happen instantly. All the while, the threat of this land sinking below the waves looms over us. Kiss him or confess to him. I will love you forever until I breathe my last breath.
Under my divine gaze, a human's life is but the blink of an eye. A fleeting moment is too brief.
Would you rather have this love disappear early or have a moment last a little longer? I deliberately emphasize my words, but I already have an answer. He won't let me die since he needs me.
I see. I'll have to extend your lifespan. Do you remember how you awakened me?
The summoning staff and the sea rituals hymns. He places the staff in my hands. I'm not sure when or how we got it.
This can temporarily awaken some of my powers, but we need one more thing to stop the storm.
He turns over my hand as he traces letters on my palm. I can't help but open my mouth. Rafayel?
Remember it. That is my name. Recite my name in your heart with the utmost devotion. Then, sing the hymn for me once more.
He suddenly dives into the storm, and his legs transform into the brilliant fishtail as he soars above the terrifying waves. The summoning staff emits a light to accompany my song. I sing with all strength and stare at his figure. He glides along the top of the waves. Lightning from the tip of his tiebreaker trident strikes the heavy storm clouds. Streams of golden light swirl across the sea's surface. The rain stops, and wind sees as the subdued tides transform into millions of transparent fish. They stir up sand and gravel as they slowly retreat to the deep sea. At the base of the damaged statue, people kneel in the muddy waters, yet they see the sun rising behind the sea god. He turns around. His gaze passes through the lingering mist and lands on me. Oh, okay. So I guess this, I'm gonna assume like the story is just gonna be like how we get really intimate and I guess falling in love with Rafayel in this. Like I said, I find it interesting that, you know, we're supposed to be with him, but we're not seemingly in love with him. I could be wrong, because it could be like stuff that in the other myths I don't particularly know. Like I said, I'm not a Rafayel girly, so lots of his story I don't fully know all of it, so I had to catch up or brush up on his lore. So, but yeah, very interesting. Like, this is very, very interesting. Hawker and his henchmen are imprisoned in a water cage that's under a waterfall. They receive my thorough care. I know that Raphael didn't spare Hawker just to let me have my revenge. For him, Hawker might have had some value. I tried to ask him about it, but Raphael wouldn't give me an answer. As the heir to the previous Castellan, I've become the new ruler of Romirro. Unexpectedly, some rumors begin to spread throughout the city. The sea god's bride awakened him. Now he carries out her orders without question. If she could command the sea god to calm the storm during the eclipse, then surely she could command him to drown Romirro. She put 12 venomous sea snakes in the water prison. They drink the former Castellan's blood every day, and the water below Millicent Waterfall is now bright red. I pay no attention to their gossip. After all, I have no interest in ruling a city that once abandoned me. What matters is that I must fall in love with Raphael.
Your Highness, the harbor repairs?
Deal with it yourself.
Your Highness, the city plans to erect several new statues of the sea god.
You don't need to ask for my permission. She's a ruler, but not a good one here. After shutting out those annoying voices, I searched the temple for any sign of Raphael. This place has become the sea god's residence. To fall in love with him sooner, I spent most of my time here. The problem is, he's always somewhere else. How am I supposed to fall in love with him? What is this?
You forgot about the scale already?
The scale I held in my hand has transformed into a blue seashell. It now hangs from the delicate silvery white chain. Is this a token of affection?
At the very least, it's not a token of hatred.
The necklace is put around my neck, and the seashell is like a crystalline mark over my heart.
Keep it safe. It's a piece of my heart.
Aww.
It will let me know where you are and what you're doing.
He can track my every move, but I have no idea what he's up to. That's not exactly fair. In the center of the temple, several springs converge into a deep, mysterious pool. The waters churn, and the currents with white sea foam are connected to the deep sea. Around the pool stands 12 broken statues, their damaged torsos holding candle holders for solidified whale oil. Their heads are solemnly lowered towards me. He took the time to build a pool. I've learned something, however. He likes to soak in the water. Bored, I pick up a few silver leaves from a nearby box and skip them. They bounce across the water. I don't know if the Sinistry is trying to curry favor with Raphael and me, but people have sent numerous gifts while keeping their distance. Is he not here? There's no response under the water. I'm about to give up when I catch a glimpse of an unusual light flashing below the surface. Curiosity compels me to dive into the water to get a closer look, but someone suddenly grabs me out of it.
It's impolite to enter my bedchamber without greeting me first.
Raphael floats to the surface, his long hair spreading out alongside the water surface. I can barely see his tail. It's like a streak of cold yet beautiful multicolored sunlight you see during a sunrise or sunset. I supervised the renovation of this temple when I was 15. If anything, this place should be mine.
You are correct. I shouldn't have stopped you.
He tries to drag me into the water, and the churning currents instantly transform into a ferocious beast. He approaches me, what is it, with open arms, or open maw. I use this memento to grab his arm and quickly wrap my arms around his neck before the water can engulf me. It's cold.
Yes, and you could have avoided this.
I was afraid you vanished again when I wasn't looking. How are we supposed to learn more about each other and fall in love if you're not here?
Is clinging to me like an octopus part of your plan to fall in love with me?
Cuddling can be used to get infection, but there's also another reason. A cold water droplet slides across the tip of my nose. I sneeze multiple times.
Why are you so delicate?
The way he said that kills. The water in your bedchamber is too cold. Why is it freezing?
Is there a problem? Only humans have a habit of parboiling themselves.
It's called taking a hot bath. Achoo. It reminds me of that text message. No, it was like a moment post that Rafayel has. And he was talking about how, oh, I hate the fact that you take hot baths all the time. He was like, I hate this shit. The current carries us ashore. Raphael's tail transforms to a pair of legs as he steps onto stone tiles inlaid with seashells.
You say you don't want to die, and yet you jump into frigid waters. Your desire to survive is rather wanting.
Mm-hmm. You say you need to fall in love with me, and yet you're nowhere to be found. Do you actually want to get your powers back?
I never believed an intangible emotion such as love could serve a purpose.
He sets me down as a ball of flame rises from his palm. I flinch and pull away, but he places it into my hand. It's not burning me, and it's warm?
Are you no longer afraid?
He creates several more spheres of fire and uses them to dry my hair and clothes until they're comfortably warm.
I'm only following the tome's revelations because I don't have an alternative. I won't fall in love with you. It doesn't matter how close you get.
Don't worry, I'm just trying to survive. Don't misunderstand and think I actually have feelings for you. This is so... Okay, this is really tripping me out. And I like I said, it might be because I just don't know his lore, but I'm like, what the heck? This is happening here. It feels like an origin story. Like, not origin story, but like the first part of his life with us. And I don't know if that is, but like, this is really interesting. I play with the ball of fire in my hands and toss it around. The dancing flame casts a softness across Raphael's face that doesn't suit him. He sits beside me on the stone steps and carefully examines the ornate boxes. These are gifts from the citizenry. They want to thank you for saving them from the storm that night.
These aren't gifts. They're displays of submission for the sake of self-preservation. They despise you, and then they coddle you like a babe in swaddling clothes. Faith, devotion, all of it is hypocrisy.
You don't seem to be furious, though.
And you've entertained yourself by skipping those silver leaves. Why should I be angry?
They belong to you. Keep what you like and throw away the gifts you dislike.
I'm not interested in insincere offerings.
Well, I have something that interests you. I walked to the tome and retrieved the souvenir staff that was hiding behind it. My first thought was saying, like, I have something that interests you. I'm thinking about my, like, I would give you my body. I'll give you my titties. Like, if that's what you want. It used to be yours, yes. Now it's yours again.
You are its rightful owner.
He gestures for me to look at the ruby on the staff. There's a strange distinctive mark on it.
It's your name written in the Lemurian language.
Oh.
It belonged to me, but it seems I gave it to you. So it's yours now.
Oh. Okay. I don't remember that. It does look familiar. I'm assuming it does look familiar because she knows what it is, so... Now that you mention it, it does look familiar. When I touch the mark, something flashes through my mind like lightning, yet I can't hold any trace to it.
Even I don't remember the staff. How do you have any memory of it?
It felt slightly familiar when I obtained it.
Could it be that you also forgot everything? Because you slept for thousands or tens of thousands of years?
What the sea god considers a deep slumber can be called death in the eyes of humans. The staff feels heavy. I place it next to the tome of the sea god. Why would you give me a precious staff?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I liked you.
Maybe the expression was too incredulous because he starts laughing.
You don't want us to be smitten with each other? If anything, you don't seem all too pleased with the fact that I liked you before.
I just can't imagine you genuinely falling in love with a human. But if we truly have feelings for each other in the past, then falling in love again might not be so difficult. What should I fall in love with, though? If I only admire his appearance, then we have an unstable foundation.
Your thoughts are impolite, I presume.
Yes, we're looking at your beautiful face, your rocking body, your, not at the moment, you know, human legs, because you don't have the fishtail right now. But, you know, I was thinking about the guy that I'm supposed to fall in love with. I'm wondering what his character is. For example, I like to learn about his likes, his dislikes, his strengths, his flaws.
If you knew those despicable aspects and flaws, would you still fall in love?
They say that if someone can accept even your most awful aspects, then it's true love. It touches the soul.
In other words, an ignorant, foolish impulse.
For the sake of survival, I'm willing to sacrifice some rationality.
It's not difficult for you to discover what kind of god I am.
He moves closer and lifts the sheath shell hanging around my neck.
When the next full moon arrives, you will find the answer you seek.
What do you mean? Rafayel sinks into the pool, which causes water to be splashed everywhere. He waves at me unhurriedly before vanishing in the blink of an eye. A full moon night. Ooh, 3 days later. Night fog blankets the wilderness. Grayish-white blades of grass rise past my ankles. Short trees are scattered about and their gnarled branches stretches in my direction. The necklace she shows emits a soft glow. It guides me out of the city into a dense forest at the foot of Mount the Yuna. What's that sound? I quicken my pace. Exceptionally bright moonlight filters through the trees and illuminates ruins covered in gray-green moss. Rafayel stands in the center of the area. Water flows from his hands to lift broken stones to piece together in mid-air. I continue to tiptoe, and then... Ha!
I heard you breathing earlier. Who do you think you're trying to scare, mortal?
You brought me here in the middle of the night just so I could watch you build a house? I recognize these as the oldest ruins on the island, but no one knows of their origins.
Correct. Come closer. You're in the way.
Still uncertain, I move to the side. More storm brooks float upward and assemble themselves into a wall covered with fragmented inscriptions.
His blood surged to form the oceans. His scales transformed into the stars above. His bones became the whales who bore the sun disk, the moon clams that measure time, the coral bridges that lead to the netherworld.
That's the creation myth for how the sea god founded Lemuria. Are these ruins connected to the sea god?
This place is part of the Island of Songs.
I furrow my brow. How strange. The name sounds familiar, but I can't remember anything about it. As I deepen thought, more stones rises with the flowing water. They connect the broken walls and ruins to gradually form a shrine. The full moon hangs above like a bright pearl set in the center of an accessory, illuminates fragments of the temple's former glory.
It preserved Lemuria's history, as well as the important chronicles of every sea god. The sea god you want to learn about is here.
These are the stories about the sea god, but they're not the story of Rafayel.
There's no difference. One day, I will become another sea god who's depicted here. The name Rafayel shall be forgotten.
Aww. He tilts his head back as if he's using somewhat real yet illusory fragments to search for pieces of his memories. That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Yet you want me to get my powers back, so I can ascend and become a true sea god.
You're not wrong. The flowing water gradually disperses and the shrine crumbles apart once more. It has returned to being ruins. What about you? After you regain your powers, what do you want to do?
I'll start with finding the person who sealed me away at the bottom of the sea.
Do you remember who it was?
I will eventually.
Okay. Empathetic, I nod. I know what it feels like to lose your freedom. You were sealed away for so long. You must really hate that person.
They aren't even worthy of my rancor.
Rancor? That's a new word. I don't even know what that means.
However, I won't let them go unpunished.
He glances at the moon before walking into the dense forest. I hurriedly catch up to him. There's one thing I still don't understand. You forgot who sealed you away. How do you know that I can break your seal?
You are the sea god's bride. You're the only one I would choose.
Why did you choose me, though?
And you were the only person I could sense when I was sealed away.
As he says this, a cryptic smile suddenly appears on his face.
It was ironic. I first heard your voice as you slandered me. You said the tome was worthless since it couldn't find the sea god. However, it somehow revealed the location of his bride, so you were captured and forced to suffer. You said I abandoned my bride, played with whatever caught my fancy, and questioned how I could be the sea god.
Damn.
You claimed I was worse than a sea cucumber.
Oh my god.
Also,
Okay, no more. You're making up nonsense. I have never insulted you. I argue while frantically trying to think. However, I have insulted him a few times.
I eventually realized that when you talked to yourself or slandered me, it meant you were in good spirits. And if there were days when you were very quiet, I could also guess what you were going through.
Wow. He's been so, kind of sensing her, what she's been feeling or hearing what she's saying. You really like watching people in secret, huh?
That's an incorrect assumption. I only see you.
Oh, the hair. Oh, look at that majestic ass hair. I wish my hair was like that. And the ombre effect and the oh, I love that. I like having my hair like that too. I usually have my hair coloring in an ombre at the end. We had wandered to the shore without realizing it. Moonlight casts a shimmering glow across the sea surface. Blurry, distant stars sparkle where the ocean meets the sky.
What is it?
It's to stop you from jumping into the water and vanishing again.
Holding my hand won't be enough.
If you keep disappearing, it'll be hard for me to fall in love with you. You should at least tell me what you're doing and where you're going.
Would you like to accompany me this time?
He raises his hand and the moonlight condenses a strand of silver thread at his fingertips. Then it descends onto the sea's surface. Every stream immediately becomes visible in the water's reflection. They follow the moonlight coil around his cupped hand and dance.
The perfect opportunity is right in front of you.
He releases The strand of moonlight makes a gesture with his hand that resembles a flying bird. He whistles and the sound lingers. Then an enormous white skeleton rises from the sea. What? It reminds me of a fish with large fins. The creature swiftly cuts through the sea mist and appears before me. I was wondering if like a whale showed up, like...
Are you scared?
Don't underestimate me. But as soon as I step forward, I find myself at a loss. I am unsure of how to approach the skeletal creature. I feel a sense of weightlessness as Rafayel places me directly onto the creature's back. His legs transform into a tail, and he swims into the ocean.
Hold on tight. Should you fall, I won't save you again.
That'd be like this cute banter right now. It's still interesting because I was just thinking like the fact that they're trying to like each other, but they're not fully putting, or he doesn't sound like he's putting enough effort to it, while she's trying at the moment. And like she said that she's trying to like know Rafayel as just Rafayel, not the fact that you're a sea god, because everybody knows that he's the sea god. So it's like, oh, you know. Rafayel swims through the inky black water. Silvery light breaks into pearls that flow along his tail. Close behind is the skeletal creature that's carrying me. Is this your friend, Rafayel?
Despite being nothing but bones, it tried to eat me when we first met. Is that what friends do?
I'd say it's more of a hungry friend. As if it's understood what I said, it suddenly lifts its tail in an attempt to throw me off. I quickly grab onto what was once its dorsal fin.
The Fantasia shark is very temperamental. I advise you not to provoke it. If you throw caution to the wind, it'll reduce you to a pile of bones with just a few bites. Its species died along with Lemuria. I have no idea where this one came from.
Could it actually be your friend? From before you went to sleep, I mean? The Fantasia shark raises its head and makes an almost inaudible sound. Then it quietly swims closer to Rafayel.
Maybe. I caught glimpses of its shadow in Whalefall City.
According to the legends, it was the most magnificent and beautiful place in all of Lemuria. Sorrow and suffering don't exist there.
Humans and their myths have never shied away from exaggeration. I don't remember what Whalefall City looked like. Only when the sea god's power is restored can all slumbering Lemurians be awakened. And then, Whalefall City shall return to this world.
That's good. You have a homeland worth longing for.
You're implying that yours isn't.
It abandoned me first. Not wanting to continue this conversation, I pretend to admire the Fantasia shark. After a moment, an idea appears in my mind. Rafayel, come here. I want to give you a gift. But just so you're aware, I haven't done this in a long time. It might not work.
I should keep my expectations low then?
Despite saying that, he raises his hand and uses the waving waves to sit down beside me. I take a deep breath, concentrate on the palm of my hand, and then gently place it on the Fantasia shark's head. Are we resonating with it? In the darkness, a faint power slowly awakens and cautiously moves towards me bit by bit. I relax my breathing and try to become part of that power. I capture every subtle change. I can sense it. Oh wow. A gentle radiance spreads out from the Fantasia shark. Layers of blue tint the seawater and faintly reveal the silhouette of city. While indistinct, its beautiful and magnificent form is still visible. Wow. I thought this Fantasia shark missed Whalefall City too, so I try to resonate with it. Did that bring back any memories? Rafayel doesn't say a word until the water turns black once more. I'm forced to break this strange silence. I didn't expect it to work. I haven't resonated in a long time, and I only used it to help others find lost crabs and turtles.
Thank you.
Aww.
You helped me see Whalefall City. I'm expressing my gratitude.
You're welcome. The moon has disappeared as sea fog descends into dense clouds to engulf our surroundings. As the fog grows thicker, my doubts continue to take root in the depths of my heart. You still haven't told me where we're going, Rafayel.
We'll arrive at our destination once the fog clears.
But just as I'm about to press for more details, I suddenly feel like my mind is being enshrouded by fog. My consciousness becomes heavy. Something's wrong with this fog.
The fog is as it should be. All you need to do is close your eyes and get some rest while you can.
Why did I fall asleep?
Did you get enough rest?
How long was I asleep? Wait, where am I? The surrounding seawater surges violently. It rushes with the force of 1,000 avalanches towards a massive oceanic abyss. It's like a crack between heaven and earth. It seems as if the entire ocean is about to collapse. The thunder's roar is so deafening that it makes my ears hurt, and a sense of foreboding washes over me. Rafayel, please don't tell me we're going there.
I thought you were eager to help me get my powers back. This is what the Tome of the Sea God means by combat the treacherous tides.
Huh. Now I understand what he meant by when he said opportunity. Is it too late for me to change my mind?
What do you think?
Yeah, we already passed through the fog and everything. We're pretty much way too late at this point. I sigh. I resign myself to my fate as I hold him tightly, close my eyes, and allow him to take me into the bottomless oceanic abyss. As my dizziness subsides, I can still hear the massive waves crashing above us. Everything around me is still enshrouded in darkness. My survival instincts makes me grip Rafayel's shoulders tightly. Is it over?
It's only the beginning.
I'm assuming he's taking us to Lemuria? He holds me close as we continue swimming towards greater depths. After what feels like an eternity, our feet finally touch a flat seabed. What in the world? Dark blue flames ignite one after another in the distance. They move in our direction and reveal an ancient, magnificent plaza. In the center stands a stone gate with multiple heavy chains. Each one extends to a tall stone statue that anchors it in place. Is this where he was imprisoned at? It looks like it. The Murians have a lot of ruins.
This is the Sea God's tomb.
Okay.
Each stone statue below represents a sea god who has perished.
I hope you didn't bring me here just so we can be buried together.
Don't worry. That day is still tens of thousands of years away.
Whoa, okay. He shoots lightning from his fingertip and it hits one of the guardian statues.
Stop pretending. I know you can hear me.
Young sea god, I've already told you. The bond's mark that is etched into your soul was never complete. You cannot enter the sea god's tomb, let alone reforge the Tidebreaker trident.
I've already brought the owner of that mark.
Even when I'm pushed forward, I'm still trying to figure out what this bond mark is.
If we're together, wouldn't that make it complete?
Not the same as what they want.
You are correct.
The statue slowly turns towards me.
To awaken the sea god, you must traverse the 33 levels of the sea god's tomb to reach its depths, and offer the Tidebreaker trident on the altar.
What?
Once the trial is complete, you can reclaim the sea god's power.
Combining Raphael's words with the statues, I realize what's happening. There are statues representing past sea gods in each level of the tomb. Does that mean we need to defeat all of them? Then you'll be able to complete the trials and regain your powers? That means there's 33 sea gods before Rafayel?
Are you scared?
A little. No. I don't think she would be. I think she'd be good. I'm not. Dying here is no different from dying in Romirro. If we succeed, my chances of living a long life will increase.
Take back those pessimistic words. It's not if we succeed. It's when we succeed. Leave everything to me. You just have to do one thing.
Which is?
Don't die.
Okay. 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 We have Rafayel to protect us. That's okay. The tiebreaker's trident materializes in Rafayel's hand as he walks onto the stone gate. It takes a deep breath. I take a deep breath and summon a silver sword.
Let's begin.
Oh. The stone statues slowly pull away the heavy chains. Layers upon layers of seals are released one after another, and the seabed begins to shake violently.
The key to passing this trial isn't to defeat the statues.
He suddenly pulls me close, lowers his voice, and what is it? Enigmatic mirth flickers in the dust of his gaze.
It's related to reaching the altar.
Okay. As soon as the gap appears in the stone gate, Rafayel swings his trident and creates a milestone. It sweeps us up and propels us through the entrance. Lightning flashes and sparks fly as he shoots into the first level like an arrow released from a bow. Meanwhile, a sea god statue is slowly emerging from an enormous stone niche.
Young sea god.
Lightning strikes and catches the statue off guard. It's knocked back into the stone niche. Rafayel doesn't linger. He rides the current into the second level and unleashes another lightning bolt without any hesitation. We're gonna breeze through them. Let's go. Chaos surrounds us as the unprecedented scorching heat radiates from Rafayel's body, yet his gaze remains exceptionally sharp and composed. The stone statues are either knocked back before they can fully emerge, or slow in their hopeless pursuit of us. Duck! I swing my sword to cut down several coral arrows flying towards us, only to feel the arm. Okay. Like a blazing flame, Rafayel turns the entire sea god's tomb upside down. He reaches the altar with just a few.
Done.
His breath. Okay. With lightning speed, he unleashes the tiebreaker trident, and a radiant brilliance akin to daylight fills the sea god's tomb.
What is the meaning of this? Why is the latest incarnation of the sea god so disrespectful?
Well done. A young god should have a young god's vitality.
This won't do. We need to add a new rule. Shortcuts are not allowed.
What?
Otherwise, my ancient stones will crumble to pieces.
How is it over already? I finally got a chance to stretch my muscles, but I haven't even made my grand entrance yet.
He went by so fast that they're like, what the fuck happened? That's so funny. The surrounding clamor fades. Hazy threads of light gradually wrap themselves. Okay. Oh, our minds in Rafayel's hands. I don't know what is going on, but like the freaking like, what is it? The chat is like, or like the reading is like going by really fast here. Normally I'm a fast reader myself, but like damn, I feel like I'm just slowly like struggling here.
Ye who desires to ascend to true godhood, the deep sea shall inscribe your name. I shall cleanse thy body, temper thy weapons, and restore thy lost memories.
Oh, okay. Accompanied by the mysterious chanting, a warm power surrounds me. Something reminiscent of flowing sand surges before my eyes as a familiar voice resounds in my ears.
In Lemuria, a bond best represents an everlasting vow and oath. When you offer the sincerest form of worship from the depths of your soul, my soul will be branded with your mark. I will be unable to defy you. And once a bond is formed, it shall never disappear. No matter where you are, or what form you take, I will always be able to find you and recognize you.
Ah, so that's why he's always able to know where we're at or doing stuff. Even in the main story, it's like that's how he was able to kind of know who we are. And then having the little red mark that he has in his like on his chest when it glows. Like I guess this is when it happened. It's Raphael's voice, yeah, but it sounds like a young Raphael, so maybe it was like before. I don't know if this is before She God times, like, or maybe this is put at the God of Tides one. So, unconsciously, I reach out my hand and touch a face that is familiar, yet somehow not. His eyes still shine with the beauty of dawn's glow. However, his smile is more carefree and unrestrained and as bright as the clear seawater. But in the next moment, the warmth in his eyes gradually fades as his body sinks back into the black seawater. Only the mark below his collarbone faintly glows. The Lemurian Covenant. I promised you.
What did you promise?
I offer you my heart. I'm willing to give you my heart. The sincerest worship. My sincerest form of worship. I'm willing to have your very being etched, engraved onto my soul. In a trance-like state, I hear myself say unfamiliar vows, yet every word seemed to come from the depths of my heart. Oh, wow.
I gave you my heart.
Oh, ugh. Don't. He takes my hand and places it against the glowing mark. Everything's clear to me. Before you fall into a deep slumber, we have formed a Lemurian covenant. That's why I'm the bride of the sea god. Those threads of light gradually melt away. The seawater is cold again and the atmosphere is somewhat awkward. Okay, so
a
now
Lemurian covenant can only be forged when both parties are willing. So, you voluntarily became my bride. It had nothing to do with the Tome of the Sea God. Don't forget to apologize to it after we get back.
I realize he's teasing me about the time I called the tome worthless. My ears burned with embarrassment as I cleared my throat. You must have recognized our bond a long time ago. You just didn't tell me.
It only represents the past. And now it means nothing to us.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that this takes place after the God of Tides myth, because it kind of seems like it does. I really gotta brush up on Raphael's lore on this. The tempered Tidejaker trident returns to his hand. Raphael turns around, his tail emanating a more vivid and sharp radiance. Within his body, a portion of the sea god's power has been awakened. You don't want to expose your weakness. You're embarrassed. Oh, I know. Our bond means I could command you, and you don't want to expose this weakness, do you? In that case, I should carefully consider the best way to utilize it. He ignored my provocation and grabs my arm to swim upward, but then he stops.
You're hurt.
I follow his gaze to look at my back, but I don't see anything and don't feel any pain. It's just a minor wound.
It's not.
Ooh.
You need to return to Romirro immediately.
Oh, what happened? Rafayel brings me back to the surface. The contagious shark carries us to a mirror.
Loosen your clothes. I need to treat your wound immediately.
Is it that bad? It doesn't hurt. Rafayel holds my shoulders with one hand and places his other hand on the back of my neck. Warm power emanates from his palms. Ah! It hurts! A pain from deep within my bones erupts and heads straight from my heart. It's so intense that I almost fall into the sea. Turning my head, I finally see the wound, but it's not a bloody gash. It resembles some strange floral pattern.
It's not working.
Stop! You're making the pain worse. Oh, what? What is going on? Yet long after Raphael stops, the pain doesn't subside. I break into a cold sweat and the drops reach my eyes. They trigger another kind of sharp pain.
Hang in there. Once the fog clears, you'll feel better.
What in the world? Rafayel, I need a favor. I groggily lift my eyelids as I rest on his lap. There are rumors. They say the sea god's song can enchant people's hearts and make them lose themselves in illusions. Could you possibly...
Don't believe baseless rumors anymore.
Can't you try? I'll use our bond and... A melody is played on a flute. It flows across the rippling, glittering sea and gently falls into my ears. It's unfamiliar yet captivating as it guides me to descend into a magnificent dream. I try to memorize every note as it flows. I don't acknowledge the pain anymore. Guided by the rhythmic sound of the waves and this melody, I slowly close my eyes once again. That's so weird. How does she get hurt? And it's like a weird pattern on her back. I guess now he has a little bit of his sea god power. I don't think he's fully awakened yet. Either. After returning to Romirro, Rafayel immediately confides me to the temple. He requests that I don't go outside until my wounds are fully healed. Although I don't understand why he's being so excessively cautious, he stays in Romirro. It's a pleasant surprise. However, the wound on my back often makes me disoriented. Sometimes I can hear faint cracking sounds deep within my spine. It's as if there's a fish nibbling on the coral. Maybe there's a more apt description would be how it feels similar to seawater washing over new scales. What if this is like MC turning into one? Like a mermaid? Or what? It makes me feel like that's what's happening, but I don't know if that's literally what it is. At other times I'm fully conscious yet somehow unable to open my eyes. However, there is one thing I remember clearly. Whenever I curl up into a ball because of searing pain, the sound of a flute drifts into my ears and numbs my suffering. And soon after, I drift back into a soft, peaceful sleep. While we were away from Romirro, something rather significant happened. Huckern, the former Castellan, had escaped from the water prison. Oh, okay. He somehow made it out.
We've already dispatched a group to search the entire city. As soon as they find something, I'll make a report.
Ouch. Pale, the lady in waiting, immediately falls silent outside the curtain. I hold back a gasp and turn to glance at Rafayel. He's applying medicine to my body. Since he heard about Huckern's escape, he has remained unfazed. There's not even a trace of anger or displeasure on his face. I'll deal with this myself. Call back the people you sent out. There's no need to search anymore.
Yes, Your Highness.
When I wave a hand, Pea quickly retreats as if she's just been pardoned from execution. You let him escape?
Beasts of the deep only bare their real fangs when facing death. Humans are no exception. Making him believe he still has a glimmer of hope will force him to reveal his plans.
Aren't you afraid he might have a secret weapon?
You should be prioritizing your health.
He applies a slight pressure with his hand. I subconsciously try to pull away from the pain, but he grabs my shoulder and presses me back onto the bed.
This ointment is made from gold feather algae. It's the best medicine for wounds in Lemuria. Stay still if you want to be hale and hearty again.
Then be gentler. Gentler.
I am being gentle. Are human bodies so fragile that they can't withstand a tiny amount of pressure?
That depends on the person's body, but yes. He still lightens his touch as he applies the medicine, his cool fingers gliding down along my spine.
I could call for that lady in waiting and have her take care of you instead.
No, you're doing well. I like it when you look after me. His face betrays nothing. However, in the dim lighting, I notice the tiny scales rising subtly on his neck. I see. He likes being praised. I quietly take note of this small discovery. Also, when he gets praised, his scales kind of increase. Okay, that's interesting. That night, I develop a fever again. It often happens during these past few days. Raphael says this means my wound is healing, but feeling dizzy with a parched throat is still a miserable experience. Raphael, could you lend me your tail to cool down again?
No. We agreed that last night would be the last time.
Through the translucent curtains, I can see him lazily soaking in the pool, his tail creating ripples across the water's surface. It's not like I'll do anything, I only want to lean against it for a bit.
Whose fever became so severe the last time that she thought she was eating fish.
Guilty, I close my mouth. The heat inside my body is still making me miserable. Pretend to be weak, use the covenant. Oh, I'm gonna use it. I'll use our bond if you don't obey me.
Go ahead.
I call upon the power of our covenant. Lend me your tail, Raphael. The sound of water lazily ripples as Raphael unhurriedly brushes aside his long hair. Do I need to recite an incantation? Raphael, heed my words? He's just yawning. I try every phrase I can think of. None of them work, and I'm left with an even drier mouth. As I fret, he unceremoniously taps the top of my head. Raphael has
Lemuria's most sacred bond can't possibly work when you mock it.
But I don't think I was mocking it at first.
Calm down. Focus on resting.
But in the end, he gives in. His tail is cool to the touch as I rest my head on it, and I meet his lover's gaze. How much longer do I have to wait for my wound to heal?
You'll make a full recovery soon.
The mirror beside me reflects a flash of red, and I see the floral pattern. It's slowly fading, but it has left behind jagged, frightening marks. The voices I heard have become different. At first, sounds I usually ignore suddenly became louder, bubbles popping, fingers brushing against surfaces, heartbeats rising and falling. Then the sound of churning seawater becoming increasingly clearer in my ears. Even though the temple is far away from the beach, I can still hear the movements of the tide. Why are you so concerned about this injury?
It will make you more like a Lemurian. Your senses become heightened, so you'll be able to hear the call of the most distant oceans and see extraordinarily vibrant colors.
Well, at least that's what I was thinking. It sounded like she was turning into a mermaid, but I don't know if that's what's actually happening. He absentmindedly runs his fingers through my hair.
But you are a human. You'll become an outcast on land. Then you'll be unable to hear any sounds unless they're in the ocean. You won't see any colors unless they belong to the sea. Your legs will become too weak to walk on land, and you'll suffer. Seawater will flood your mouth and nose and rise in your throat.
Are we talking about Ariel? Like,
In the end, you'll drown on dry land.
No, it's not the same as Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I was thinking about not the Disney one, the novel version, which that's a darker story and it has a darker end to The Little Mermaid, to Ariel. But yeah, I was thinking that's what she was going with, but that was not the same thing.
It doesn't look like you're afraid.
Because you'll keep me alive. You will, yes? He laughs softly, feels my forehead, and then picks up a cup of water. He helps me drink it.
If you try to make excuses again tomorrow, there's no guarantee.
As I slowly recover, Mura's short summer arrives. The scent of flowers, which have been absent, permeates the wind. At night, I climb up to the roof of the temple and look at the port. The people are setting up tall platforms for bonfires. Perhaps they're preparing for the Sea Goddess Festival once again, centuries later, to express their reverence for the sea god. It was once Mira's grandest festival. People would thank the sea god and pray for his blessings and protection. I already know that Raphael has no interest in frivolous festivals.
You're still injured.
I know, so I didn't leave the temple. I pat the spot beside me and invite him to sit down. Then I return my attention to the conch shell in my hand.
It sounds terrible.
I was gonna say we're practicing. He twirls a flute in his hand and unceremoniously taps the top of my head with it.
That's not how you play it. If the conch shell could express emotion, it would have already died of embarrassment.
Then teach me how to play it properly. I like that song.
Why?
It might be because whenever I hear you play it, all my pain disappears. Just so no one dares to approach the temple without good reason, no one dares to near the tower that once imprisoned me. I thought escaping from the tower would make me feel better, but I guess not.
Your cage isn't in that tower. You can't leave the temple or the tower. You're afraid of losing the freedom to go where you please. Once your wound heals, nothing will be able to restrain you.
The conch shell is taken from my hand and Rafayel brings it to his lips. He's testing it out.
Listen carefully if you want to learn.
Okay. The melodious tune rises and it mingles with the evening breeze, moonlight and the moonlight before floating away. I lean against Rafayel's shoulder and let the vibrations from his chest seep into my bones as he plays something in the depths.
This island.
Wait, what? Something in the depths of my heart trembles. Okay.
This entire region shouldn't be unconquerable obstacles in your search for freedom. No matter how many identities Romirro's people bestow upon you, you aren't obligated to fulfill them. You need to be willing to accept those roles.
One of those identities is the bride of the sea god? What if I don't want to be her?
Then don't be.
But I feel a bit reluctant to just let it go. I let out a long sigh and gaze at the lights that extend from around the temple to distant places. I used to love Romirro. I wanted to protect it forever and save it from the prophecy.
Unfortunately, it abandoned you.
I'm just a tool to the citizens. They believe I will save their lives.
Do you want all these people to disappear?
If I said I wanted that, would you carry out my wish?
If it would make you fall in love with me.
I try to imagine the deaths, but I thought that would make me happy.
What would make you happy then?
When I don't respond, he hands me a long scroll.
Those ladies in waiting delivered it.
I look down and notice several ladies in waiting at the steps of the temple. They meet my gaze and bow nervously. I suppose they want me to preside over the rituals for the first day of the sea's gratis festival.
I see. They're representing Romirro in an attempt to win your favor. When the time comes, you'll have to confront many of the people who abandoned you.
With apparent playfulness in his eyes, he brushes aside a strand of my hair that the wind has blown across my face.
How will you respond?
What would you do?
If it were me...
His fingertip moves down and rests over my trembling heart.
I'd ask this heart about what could make it happy.
It's cute. I was thinking like the fact like, oh, you know, he wants to make sure that she's okay. Like I said, it just sounds like she's turning into a mermaid, but I don't think, or she's turning into more of a Lemurian because while as he's gaining his powers get back, she's also gaining some powers too. But yeah, this is really nice to see that I guess the festival is gonna come up now and to celebrate her and the sea god, I guess. With the toss and of a torch adorned with flowering vines and she settles into the bonfire and the rises of dancing flames, the Sea Gratis Festival officially begins. I descend from the elevated platform by the shore, give the souvenir stuff to Viri for safekeeping, and then remove the heavy crown from my head.
Thank you, Your Highness.
No need. In the end, I agreed to preside over the ritual for the Sea Gratis Festival. The reason is simple, because the sea god was forgotten and hated for centuries. I'm the only one who still knows how to perform the ceremony. Of course, this ritual respected the sea god's opinion, so many of the complicated, extravagant elements were eliminated.
Why did you think the sea god would enjoy a dance that looks like crabs are fighting? It's better to save your energy and make more fried shrimp cakes instead. These are actually delicious.
It's an ancient dance that was passed down for generations. It's supposed to display the sea god's majesty. Actually, you have a point. It does look like crabs fighting. As I walk into the resting area surrounded by curtains, Rafayel examines the pile of crates filled with offerings. It's as if they formed a small mountain. Because he said the fried shrimp cakes from the city's eastern district were delicious, people rushed to replace their offerings with fried shrimp cakes. I would love that too, though. I love anything shrimp related. Like, I would be down for this shit. Why do you make a more special request? You could ask for their assistance when you dive into the deep for pearls. I suspect the pearls from that the Tome of the Sea God mentioned referred to something else, though.
Aren't fried shrimp cakes special?
What is special
Food
to
in
you?
the sea is too soft. Nothing has a unique texture such as this.
He breaks off a small piece and puts it in my mouth. Then he tosses upward a bubble filled with water to wash his hands.
As for the pearls, it can't be completed in a day or two. You also don't have to scour the entire sea for oysters. What you need to do now is...
His fingertip lifts my necklace. His eyes reveal what he's been saying. Apply medicine. I loosen my collar and sit off to the side. When I think about how this wound is almost fully healed, I feel a tinge of sadness. During the ceremony, I realized for the first time that the sea wasn't completely black. The sound of waves drift leisurely from behind the curtains and raises my ears with a gentleness I never thought was possible. I also never imagined that fragments of rainbow-colored light shimmered beneath the dark-colored waves and among towering red crests.
Don't say that. Once your wound heals, you'll have plenty of ways to see it again.
Alright, Rafayel, you're getting better at taking care of people. You don't hurt me anymore.
If I couldn't do this simple task well at this point, wouldn't the sea god's divinity be tarnished? However, should you miss that pain, I can help you experience it again.
No, that won't be necessary. Stop.
Your Highness, someone has brought a prayer flower basket.
Mary, who just lifted the curtain to enter, pauses. Her gaze shifts from Raphael's hand to my shoulder. Then she speaks as if she doesn't see anything.
It's for you and the sea god.
Of course, you can leave it here.
Yes, Your Highness.
As Mary leaves, I pull my clothes back up and silently glare at Raphael. There have been new rumors about us will be circling around the city tomorrow.
Such as?
It's hard to say. Perhaps they'll mention the sea god's bride in broad daylight doing... Oh wait, that's not right. The people shall speak of her doing this and that with the sea god in the dark hours of the night.
What exactly is this and that? I don't understand.
The various flower basket floats in Raphael's hands. He lifts the red, blue, and silver ribbon. He fiddles with it with the seashells inside the basket.
What does this basket of seashells represent?
It's one of the traditions in the Sea Goddess Festival. Every household prefers flower baskets filled with seashells to exchange with others. The more beautiful the seashells, the more beautiful the blessings they represent. It's how one can convey well wishes to people. But why would anyone want to exchange seashells with me? I tuck that thought away and pretend to be interested as I take the flower basket. Having changed into lighter clothes, Raphael and I walk along the central streets of the city towards the temple. The moonlight and stars cast a blue glow across the night sky. They're like seawater flowing along the horizon as they rise and fall with the clouds and mist. Try these crispy fish. They're delicious too, and crunchy.
They're slightly bland.
Is that so? Maybe the salty seawater has numbed your tongue.
I told you multiple times already. I'm not always drinking seawater because I'm in the ocean.
I drop a few coins, ignore the stall owner's somewhat bewildered gaze, and shove a bag of crispy fish onto Raphael's hands. A decent number of people recognize us, but we tactically ignore their gawking. When did they put up the statue over there?
I saw craftsmen hammering away at it not too long ago.
At the end of the half stands an exquisitely detailed, majestic statue of the sea god. He wields a trident as he stands above the whitecaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. The adamant is well defined. They're putting a lot of effort into flattering you. Perchance a little too much.
What do you mean? It's a faithful depiction.
It's far more accurate compared to the previous sea god statues. The older ones were extremely imposing and masculine. Their beards were longer than their hair. When I heard your voice for the first time, I couldn't believe you were the sea god. You sounded too young.
You're not wrong. You saw it yourself in the sea god's tomb.
Yeah.
Those sea gods had flowing beards longer than their hair.
Everybody was elders at that point. I take a moment to recall the statues I saw there. You're still the most handsome one.
You have my thanks.
He raises his hand slightly, and the seashell is placed near the base of the statue, shimmering with a crystalline light. It's akin to a sunny response from a god. Seeing my questioning look, he smiles.
I still believe humanity's faith is fragile. The slightest touch can shatter it. However, the meaning of festivals is equally important, whether they are here or where Whalefall City used to stand. Just for today, I can let them be happy for a bit. It's not difficult.
I'll hold his fingertips. Raphael, before you fall asleep, you must have been a likable sea god. Even though you lost your memory, you still long for Whalefall City. You want them to awaken all the Romarians and bring them back to their homeland.
Making unfounded judgments like this is usually a dangerous sign.
Who says it's unfounded? On a small scale, you dislike human worship, yet you still respond to their wishes. On a larger scale, you saved everyone during the lunar eclipse despite the fact that they hated and insulted you. And most importantly, I loved you once. It was enough to forge a covenant with you. At least that proves you're worthy of affection. You're worthy of being loved. That's so, like, sweet, and it sounds sad at the same time. Like, what the heck?
What?
I give you plenty of compliments. Isn't it your turn to compliment me now?
Your eyes are bright. Your hair is soft. And you remind me of a proud little crab when you smile. When you're angry, you're like a prickly sea urchin.
Does the last part count as a compliment?
Of course. If you lived at the bottom of the sea for thousands or tens of thousands of years, you would know how precious it is to see even a sliver of vibrant color.
I open my mouth, but I'm unable to find the right words. The basket in my hand sways slightly. I lower my head and see a little girl slipping a pink seashell into my basket while taking another one. After we make eye contact, she immediately scurries back to her mother, who's the stall owner selling crispy fish. The stall owner struggles with how she should respond. Then she gives me a forced smile.
See? The people here like you too.
That's not it. Whether it's belated guilt, cautious appeasement, or even more complex emotions that are impossible to articulate, I can't say. I haven't done anything to deserve their affection.
It's because you're you.
His hand covers mine and he moves past the tricolor ribbon on the basket so his fingers get intertwined with mine.
All endearing words suit you perfectly.
Aww. I like how we have a cute, like, festival stroll, talking together. By the time we return to the temple, there are a few more colorful seashells in my basket. It's not a lot, however. I hang out by the windowsill and I see Rafayel is about to approach the pool. I quickly run over to stop him. Wait, there's still something we need to do. Oh, I love the little, like, marks on his body, like on his chest and the shoulders that's glowing. It's like a glowing effect. It just looks so good. and take out the floral liqueur I have already prepared and pour it into a silver chalice. We celebrate with everyone else. Now it's time for our private celebration. The Sea Gratis Festival is also for lovers. People collect elderflowers during the spring and use them to brew liquor. You're supposed to give it to your beloved on this day.
Does this contain your entire spring's collection?
I bought it. I was still locked up in the tower in spring.
It's all right. I don't mind.
Raphael picks up his glass and gently clinks it with mine. The floral liquor is sweet and pure. After drinking it in one go, I refill both glasses.
Now that it's just the two of us, is there anything you want to say to the sea god? To me? During the ceremony, your chants were filled with other people's words to the sea god. They were not your own. Don't you want to tell me something? Maybe I can make a wish come true.
Oh my god. Wait. I wish you could fall in love with me soon. I hope you succeed in your revenge. Don't become the sea god. Don't become the sea god is crazy. Oh my god. I want to see like all of these answers. What? Oh, I don't know what these are all so good.
That doesn't count.
Why? Is it very difficult for you?
It's too easy. Think of a more ambitious wish.
As our glasses clink and the floral liqueur slowly disappears, Raphael suddenly holds out his hand to me.
You told me that during the Seas Gratis Festival, humans exchange seashells to give blessings to each other. I've already given you a seashell. Shouldn't you give me something in return?
I toss a seashell necklace around my neck. I rack my brain for what feels like ages, yet I can't think of anything that would be of equal value. I slip a pearl ring off my finger. I've worn this since I was a child. It's not the pearl that the Tona Sea God told me you'd find, but I'll give you a blessing that only belongs to this ring. May all your wishes come true. When the time comes, remember to take me to Rafayel City.
I heard that rings are often gifts that symbolize romantic devotion in the world of humans. Does this mean you've fallen in love with me?
Aww. I contemplate his words for a moment before I lean forward to kiss the corner of his lips. What do you think?
I think I need some more convincing proof.
Okay. That night, the sound of the waves draws closer. Gentle, melodious music mixes with the laughter, and as Fantasia Shark swims overhead, vibrant colors burst before my eyes. Someone reaches out to hold my hand. My veil is lifted, and I'm led towards the light. Then the music and laughter transform into weeping and screams. All colors fade into a dull gray, and the hand that's tightly holding mine gradually turns cold. Seawater engulfs everything. The cold overwhelms the world, and even the last melody played on the flute sinks into deathly silence. But the hand still doesn't let go of me. Why does this sound like this is foreshadowing? Like, what? This doesn't sound good. Okay. When the sun rises, come to the beach. I'll take you somewhere special. On the last day of the Sea Gratis Festival, I wake up to find a note Raphael left beside my pillow. Rosy daylight spreads across the horizon and paints the sky in distinctly warm colors, yet the wind carries an unusual chill. There's a smell. It's a repulsive, fishy stench. I swiftly draw my silver sword and block an attack that was aimed at my heart. Yet something akin to sharp claws pierces my shoulder. It's like a coiled tentacle that's covered in thirsty thistle-like barbs. They dip deeper into my skin while I struggle.
It's been a long time, bride of the sea god.
Ah, it's Hawkern. So that's where you went, Hawkern. Still maintaining his sanctimonious facade, he emerges from the darkness. Behind him, several grotesque, elongated shadows extend outward.
You were waiting for me.
Your trap is too obvious. The toxin from the barb seeped into my blood. My body becomes numb, but I doubt I'll die from it.
Too bad. That sea god deceived you with a few empty words. You're still under his spell. Do you actually believe he'll save you? He'll only lead you to your death for his own selfish desires.
His eyes gleam with malicious intent. As my consciousness begins to fade, traces of light are gradually devoured by darkness.
Don't resist. Now then, follow me. Everything I've done is for Romirro. I want to prevent it from following the same doomed path as Lemuria.
Huh. Wait, so... So that's why the sea god is tied to Romero? Because it has ties like Lemuria's similar? Huh. I know because of the fact like MC had to give up like her heart to save Lemuria, and that's why it didn't go through the other time, because he didn't want that to happen, and he pretty much sacrificed like his homeland for her. But I'm assuming, but it's saying like Lemuria and Romero was like similar. Okay. The pain in my shoulder wakes me. As I open my eyes, I find myself in a cage I know all too well. My hands and feet have been shackled. Sensing a putrid, fishy smell, I see a massive, grotesque shadow on the wall. It's accompanied by the sound of something vicious being torn and peeled apart. I suddenly recall the spell that he cast on me, the one he used to control me.
Indeed, it's an ancient curse. But it's far too weak to control my bride. These magics can't be wielded by humans. Tell me where you found it.
Alright, so he knows how to do magic, but they were like, how the heck does he know it? Or maybe Hawkern knows about the because he is one? You're no longer human. Oh my god. Yeah.
So what?
Maybe he was already a Lemurian beforehand, and then he decided to...
To save Lemuria, this pain is nothing.
The shadow on the wall suddenly contracts, a moment passes, and it slowly returns to a human form. With so many sea monsters parasitizing your body, aren't you afraid they'll eventually devour you? You'll be turned into a real monster.
The human body is too fragile. It's incapable of helping me in my quest to revive Lemuria. I need a body powerful enough to let me live for thousands of years. But that sea god, he destroyed the body I had painstakingly crafted when he put me in that water prison. He forced me to devour more, and I turn into what you see now.
Noticing the countless festering cracks and deformed joints on his hands, I feel nothing but shock and pity. Recalling his talk of Lemuria and the implications of his recent words, a theory forms in my mind. Are you a Lemurian? But you were born and raised in Romero. Lemuria was destroyed tens of thousands of years.
Lemuria was never destroyed!
Oh! He yanks the chains, and I'm forced to look into his eyes that are filled with the ominous darkness.
It's sleeping. It's waiting for me. Once I kill that foolish, selfish sea god, I will become Lemuria's new sovereign.
What?
I shall resurrect Lemuria, The only civilization that's glorious enough to rule this world!
Oh, what the? Okay. He seems to have lost his mind while his obsessive delusions and hatred for Rafayel. However, his words aren't complete with nonsense. Ooh. System. Do you want to return to Lemuria?
It's the most beautiful place in the world, and the homeland of all Lemurians.
Okay.
Don't you love your homeland? Wouldn't you want to save it?
I'm not passionately enamored with Romirro. Despite my feelings, I pretend to nod and agree with him. I understand, but this doesn't have anything to do with me. Why would you kidnap me to save Lemuria?
Don't you remember?
You made the pact. A tentacle tosses something at my feet. It's a small fractured stone tablet. However, I recognize it instantly. This one of the sea god? It's very similar to the one in the temple. The patterns and text are almost identical. It's as if it was broken off from that larger stone tablet.
You are the only human who can communicate with the tome of the sea god. Go on. Read.
The blood from my shoulder drips onto the stone tablet, and the blurred text emits a faint golden glow. Find a true love. When blessed with a true love's kiss, claim her heart by your own hand. A heart pure, flawless, and filled with love, best offering can give to Lemurians. Okay, so this is the oath of knowing that you have to offer your heart. Now, the prophecy from the Tome of the Sea God that I read, it was incomplete.
Do you understand now? If the sea god wants to reclaim his power, he needs more than true love.
Because he would technically need you. He needs you to actually kind of be gone to restore his power and to restore Lemuria.
True love is just a stepping stone to him.
Harkon gives me a mocking gaze that's filled to the brim with contempt.
Akin to how a starving person seeks food, ripping out your heart is the sea god's natural instinct.
Why are you telling me this? I don't believe you.
I'm trying to save your life out of the kindness of my heart.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Harkon, I've known you for at least a few hundred years. You can't lie to me. Or do you honestly think I would harm Rafayel if I knew he was going to kill me?
You wouldn't? You believe that pitiful illusion you call love is enough to make the sea god give up on your heart? Should he recall what happened millions of years ago, do you think he would still show you mercy?
Is he referring to what happened before Rafayel fell asleep? Harkon pulls out a bottle covered in, what is that, verdigris, and unscrews the stopper, and eerie vapor drifts out.
Come, witness the events from the annals of Lemurian history. See how you and that sea god destroyed Lemuria.
Oh, okay. I hold my breath, but the eerie vapor seeps into my skin in an instant, invading every fiber of my being. Within moments, dormant memories awaken like magma breaking through frozen earth. It burns every blood vessel and nerve in me. It hurts. Searing pain tears through my body. My mind is plunged into chaos, yet something gradually comes into focus.
Are you willing to be my follower?
Rafayel. Oh yeah, so this is definitely, wow. This is definitely connecting to the god of tides myth. The massive circular chamber is as dim as twilight. The ground trembles as structured stones cascade down from the domed ceiling. This is... My body is suddenly pinned down. Oh my god! My body is suddenly pinned down. A sharp dagger is pressed against my chest, its tip drawing drops of blood. Rafayel? No, that's not right. The Rafayel before me is a brighter, more radiant young man, yet the dark blue flames that burn in his eyes and his expression are unnaturally detached. In his hand, he tightly grips the sharp dagger, his poise ready to pierce my heart. I can't make a sound. I grabbed the handle of the dagger and used all of my strength to fight against death itself. Oh my god, this is it. They're trying to...
Run.
Oh my god, this is actually like... But the detached hostility returns to his eyes as blue and golden light radiance from his body. Oh, this is like the end of the God of Ties 1.
As my follower, you must offer your heart to me. A Lemurian bond holds great power, but it's also a chain. The sea god should have no weaknesses or constraints.
But at this point he does though, and that's the problem here. My struggle is futile. The blade sinks deeper into my chest. Blood falls as the pain spreads. There's a loud crash, and the restraint on my body loosens. Rafayel leans against a wall that's far away from me. Pain has contorted his face. Inside the stone niche burns a gentle yet feeble flame. It's so weak that a breeze could extinguish it.
Stay away from me.
Yeah, oh man, that sucks because you like, we know this was supposed to happen, but in the God of Ties, he refused it. And then that's when they were like, oh, Lemuria crumbled because he didn't take her heart. This dark blue and golden light still surround him. However, the blue flames in his eyes have been extinguished or rather suppressed.
You cannot stay here. Lemuria's flame requires the hearts of our followers to sustain it. This is wrong. Should it continue, 'tis only a matter of time before I lose control and hurt you again. You must find a method that will allow it to burn forever. That shall be Lemuria's true path.
The flame from the niche gently floats to Rafayel's fingertips, then it transforms into countless delicate threads of light that float towards my chest. Shocked, I try to break free, yet I find myself bound by these threads. A strange, warm flower flows into my heart.
There is a legend. It says the wick of a flame exists in the place where all oceans converge. Find it, and Lemuria will be enveloped in light and endure forevermore.
Water currents embrace me and carry me out of the temple. From a distance, Rafayel gives me a gentle smile.
I shall ensure Whalefall City remains exactly as you remember it, until the day you return with the wick. This is my promise to you.
The Whalefall City's gone. Oh no, this is...
For 'tis Lemuria's vow, a bond everlasting.
Despair and blood pervade the seawater as thunderous ruination buries all cries and screams. I desperately try to push away the darkness before my eyes, but it feels like my body is trapped in quicksand. The more I struggle, the more I suffocate.
That human deceived you. She deceived all of Lemuria.
A human stole our flame. Lemuria will perish.
Why did the sea god deceive us? Why didn't he protect Lemuria?
Oh my god, this is actually like...
The sea god has changed before we even realized it.
The seawater drowns their despair, and yet I can't defend Rafayel. It isn't Rafayel's fault. It's because I didn't fulfill my promise to Rafayel. There was no wake that existed in the place where all oceans converge or at the end of the sea. Lemuria could never exist forever. Lemuria was a civilization that should never have existed. Destruction was its predetermined fate. The last god of the sea perishes, along with Lemura. They dissolve into the ocean. It's not a slumber, it's oblivion. He will disappear from this world. I will never be able to find him, see him, hear the songs he played for me on the flute, or see him smile. My heart silently cries out, but it awakens the unwavering determination of my former self. Oh, I won't let Rafayel die. Oh, I will save him. And the price that must be paid, it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. In the violently trembled deep sea, the Semino staff I wield ignites. The cold flame illumines the gaze that I breath away from mine. Shock, sorrow, anger. I can't exactly make out the emotions in his eyes. I can only see the mark of Raban on his collarbone. It's like a stream of blindingly bright, burning blood. Countless threads of light transform into ruins. I raise the staff and let a phantom pierce his body. I hear my own heart as I speak. Every single word is part of a merciless command. With the power of Lemuria's vow, Rafayel, you shall be forever imprisoned here until Lemuria welcomes the opportunity for rebirth, until the world reaches the moment when you can be awakened. His divine gaze, once clearer than seawater, transforms into a black tide. It freezes when he looks at me.
You betrayed me.
Once the seal is complete, he plunges into the depths of those abyssal waters. You hear a deafening sound as if an entire ocean is being split apart. Boundless black waves surges and forms all directions. His dissipating figure becomes rain that falls upward. I will cut out your heart with a dagger home, my darling, and in love's name your heart will become my fate. Your body will be washed clean, shine like a pearl. I will care for your heart. Till we meet again, and you reclaim it for yourself. This is intense. The last whips of smoke dissipates, and the bottle clatters to the ground. The tide of memories recede as my consciousness returns to the cold, gloomy tower.
Do you remember now? You stole the flame and sealed away the sea god, and he trusted you so easily. You are the ones responsible for Lemuria's destruction.
My mind is still reeling from the impact of those memories as I lift my head. My gaze focuses on the former Castellan. Then it shifts to the silent figure standing in the shadows behind him. Rafayel. I don't know when he arrived, however his cold gaze has told me everything. He saw my memories as well. Harkon continues his endless monologue, but I can only hear chaotic noise. I stare blankly at the figure before me. Our gazes lock and we freeze under the moonlight. My thoughts are also seen to be frozen in place.
We'll deal with him first.
A faint whisper that only I can hear reaches my ears. I give a slight
He will
nod in
kill you,
response.
cut out your heart, and leave your body out to rot. You will not receive a proper burial.
Oh my god.
If you want to live, your only option is to kill him before he can act. Your bond with him is your sharpest blade. You can order him to take his own life. As you can see, anything is possible.
But we would not do that to him. Yes, I remember. I was the one who sealed Rafayel. I try to speak as calmly as possible. But I'm also responsible for Lemuria's downfall. Why is Rafayel your only target for revenge? Don't you hate me too?
Of course I do. However, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you kill the sea god.
I think it's the fact like he just wants to take his place and become the new sea god. Remove my shackles then. Can I do anything if I'm like this? I lift my chin slightly. You better hurry, he's already here. A tall, slender figure appears under the moonlight. Rafayel raises his hand and summons the Tiebreaker Trident.
How convenient. You've delivered yourself
to me.
The chains that bind me snap. I rub my sore wrist before materializing a silver sword. I take 2 steps forward. In the suffocating silence, Rafayel is the first to speak.
It was you.
You let Hawkern escape on purpose. He was used as bait so you could find out who sealed you away. And that person was me.
Correct. The greatest weakness of Lemurians is that bond. And a sea god cannot have weaknesses. He must kill the person who forged the covenant with him. That way, there will be no one left in the world who could restrain or threaten him. And only then shall he become an invincible god. Regardless of whether it's for Lemuria or for myself, I must kill you.
He speaks these cold words. Although I know it's just an act, I can't help but think. Perhaps these words also contain his true feelings. We don't need to say anything else to each other. I raise my silver sword as lightning flashes at the tips of the tiebreaker trident. Blue, fiery power surges around Raphael's body. Are we about to fight each other? Why does it sound like we are?
Farewell, bride of the sea god.
When the tip of my sword clashes with the tiebreaker's trident, our weapons are diverted to the side. Okay. As the light fades, Hawkins' eyes are filled with terror, yet he cannot move. His body shatters amidst flying sparks. A putrid stench fills the air as vicious fluid seeps between the bricks and spread across the floor.
Don't taint Lemuria's glory with your disgusting ambitions. A man who lost himself to madness has no right to save Whalefall City.
Harkin's eyes bulge with fury as guttural sound escapes his throat. Then he crumbles and turns to ash. Raphael withdraws his trident and brushes away the dark embers from his body.
Your hand.
Aww. A small flame dances from his fingertips and travels up his forearm. The fluid and bloody marks left by the shackles disappear.
You are afraid of me. What's wrong? Did you think I would actually kill you?
I'm not afraid of you. I'm the one who sealed you away, and I'm also the key that will allow you to claim your power. You have every reason to kill me.
If I asked you to, would you willingly offer me your heart? I want you to answer honestly.
Oh! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't realize the question was gonna pop up, like the choices. I pressed no immediately. I'm so sorry. Honestly, maybe I'm not that willing.
Unfortunately, your life and death are now in my hands.
I know. The fact that I hurt you is undeniable. It doesn't matter what my reasons were for sealing you away. Oh my god, look at the red marks on his now. What the heck? I will respect your decision. His fingertip is cold as he presses it against the spot where my beating heart is. Our noses almost touch. We're so close that our one breath could close the distance between our lips.
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I don't have an answer for you. Even if it was, this heart now bears an invisible future that can never be fully mended.
The answer is clear. Your heart is of no use to me. For now, at least. Go back. Your injuries haven't fully healed yet. You should get some rest.
Alright. Wow, this is so tense. Because it's like, we want to give it to him though. But he doesn't want to do so at all. I murmur in agreement, yet neither of us make a move to leave. The moonlight casts its shadows on the window bars. It resembles a wall of thorns that gradually spread between us. Damn, this is really tough to see. Because now it's like a whole difference between them. Alright, so unfortunately, for some reason, my footage for reacting to chapters 8 and 9 of his myth is gone. I don't understand what happened. I saw that I was recording and I had it up, and then for some reason it just stopped on me and all of the footage was just gone except for like the last few minutes of his myth. And I'm like, shit, I'm gonna rewatch it again. Because I don't want to just leave it like hanging, like reading just 7 and then the other 2 just poof, gone. So we're going to rewatch chapter 8 and 9 of his myth, and I'll let you know my thoughts with it as well. It kind of sucks to have to rewatch it, but that's okay. Footage, you know, sometimes recording, not always great. The path from the tower to the temple isn't long, however it feels as if we've been walking for an eternity. After that day, we continue as if nothing had changed, yet everything is different. We no longer watch the faint light on the horizon in the morning, nor do we light all the candles in the temple on cold nights. The images from that vision are like an inescapable thorn. It has pierced me and Rafayel. Dusk falls when Rafayel tells me he will temporarily leave romirro to search for the pearl in the deep. It's mentioned in the Tome of the Sea God. We part ways on the beach. He dives into the sea, his tail catching the sunset's light in all of his beautiful iridescence. The waves and ripples will never settle. Likewise, I will never see him again. So this was right after we found out MC and Rafayel now know like the full story of how he was sealed, what she like her purpose fully was, and it all connected to the God of Tides myth set, which I thought was really interesting. You would see my reaction in the first part, and I thought it was really cool that this was like pretty much after, it seems like, the God of Tides myth set, and now that they both know, they have both on different things. She obviously wants to fulfill her purpose to give Rafayel her heart, but Rafayel doesn't want that, it seems like, which is really interesting because it's like, oh, it's the same kind of thing. Like, they don't want to use her, but they know that they kind of have to, because it's the only way to have Lemuria survive and thrive, and without her heart, and it would just crumble and fall apart. So after that, he left. On the last night of summer, an unprecedented storm falls upon romirro without any warning. So yeah, the prophecy started coming back. The water has risen past the average person's waist. With the rain, they rapidly engulf every building, shop, and slope. I watch from the top of the temple. Beyond the rain lies a hazy black ring surrounding everything. The sea water surges and churns. They only gave out the order to reinforce the embankments and clear the waterways. Unfortunately, when faced with this kind of storm, it's futile. Another building collapses. The rising waters carry the rubble and people screams in all directions. Someone bobs up and down the current. The black water carries them towards me.
Help! Help me! Someone!
I recognize her. She's one of the ladies in waiting who served me in the temple.
Help!
Countless images flashes through my mind. They overlap and intertwine. The faces of people below the tower, those look of disgust or apathy when I was forced to perform the Weaver ritual. The smiles of people who had sent me invitations and exchanged seashells with me during the Sea Goddess Festival.
Your Highness. Your Highness, thank...
The nearest shelter is to the north. Go. Before she thanks me, I harshly interrupt her. The lady in waiting steadies her weakened body. Her eyes, once soaked in despair, flickers briefly with hope before it dims.
The flood has washed away all the city's shelters. Aside from me, there are others who have nowhere to go.
Carrying debris, the roaring flood crashes against the temple. The building trembles, yet it still remains steadfast. When I was 15, I oversaw its renovation with the intention of making this symbol of faith as solid as the heavens. It was designed to stand tall for centuries. Tell everyone to take shelter in the Sea God's temple.
Your Highness, we did a search and brought the people we found to the temple.
People who escaped the storm are put into small groups in the main hall. They anxiously wait or watch as I stand next to the statue of the Sea God. I look outside. The rainfall wraps around romirro like a sheet of rough gauze. It covers everything in a deathly white as far as I can see. Turning back, I instruct Rafayel to distribute all the food supplies in the temple. When the storm eases, lead them to Mount Onuna. It's tall enough, the water will not reach you there. After I give up my simple orders, I ignore the anxious gaze and hushed discussions around me as I turn to leave.
Your Highness?
Yes?
What if the rain never stops and the flood reaches Mount Anyuna? What then? What if the third night comes?
All sounds seemingly vanish, only rainfall remains. Gazes pour in from all directions like water. Everyone stares at me as they wait for an answer about their future. I remember I picked I don't know at first. But I guess I would just say this time that day will never come. That day will never come. The third night hasn't arrived yet, and the rain will stop. Many people turn their heads to look outside. They're searching for the bright moon that hangs in the sky. The tents and meetings in the temple has disappeared to some extent. As for how long this rain will last, that remains to be seen. Perhaps what they need isn't a direct answer, but words that can serve as a pillar of support. Suppressing that many uncertainties in my heart, I look at the misty blackness beyond the rain. My promise to Rafayel is invalidating more, huh? If only this heart truly fell in love with him, then he could prevent the sea from swallowing Romirro and allow me to live. Back when we decided to fall in love, neither of us anticipated what today would bring. I hope the seas he's in, it has pleasant skies. My heart aches again as I grasp the necklace he gave me, but...
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I still can't give a definitive answer to that question Rafayel asked me that night. However, no matter what happens, I can't let Romirro sink. I must survive until the day I see Rafayel again. Several days later, the torrential rain finally stops while everyone sleeps. The howling wind subsides to some extent. Wading through the accumulated muddy water, the ladies in waiting carry out my orders. They evacuate everyone from the city. I press my faintly aching temples. I'm unable to dismiss the ominous premonition lingering in my heart for some reason.
Mom, look! The moon is being eaten!
I look up. The moon has vanished without a trace. Moonlight drowns in murky gloom. Within the blink of an eye, a black cloud swallowed the last trace of light from heaven and earth.
The eclipse! The eclipse is here!
The eclipse!
Prophecy from the tomb of the sea god! Romirro is about to be submerged!
After being momentarily stunned, I finally realized that there's no black clouds in the sky. A massive wave is rising from the sea. Yuri, take everyone back to the temple! But these feeble struggles are no match for the approaching catastrophe. The wave swiftly unfurls its deathly embrace over Romirro. A loud sound explodes across the sky. For a moment, everything is as bright as day. Golden lightning cleaves through the massive wave. The water flows back and reveals its familiar silhouette. The seashell necklace around my neck begins to shake violently. Rafayel? The massive wave collapses and large water splashes touch the land. Rafayel raises his tiebreaker trident, and the scales on his tail reflect a piercing, cold light. The trident is swung down with great force. Heavy storm clouds are transformed into scorching, powerful winds that sweep across all of Romirro. Wherever the trident point flames, more brilliant than the blazing sun, ignite across the water's surface.
The sea god? Is that the sea god?
To control the currents and the tides, without a doubt, this is Rafayel's power. Look at him. Even in this, it just always looks so beautiful. Like mountains, the towering waves are stacked on top of one another. They spiral upwards under the force of wind and fire to form columns of water that pierce the sea like spears. The violent ocean is suppressed by the sea god's ferocious power. Fire clashes against the seawater that had rushed into Romirro, and the sea is forced to retreat. I run towards Rafayel by stepping on the scattered floating debris that once made up a seawall. Only one thought races in my mind. Faster. I need to go faster. Ahead of me, Rafayel stands amidst unquenchable flames. His long hair is disheveled by the wind. Rafayel! Water and fire illuminate Rafayel's eyes as he looks at me. A divine power surges in his gaze. It's as fierce as the turbulent currents surrounding him. Not even a trace of my image is reflected in his eyes.
You shouldn't have come here. Return to the shore if you don't want to be reduced to cinders.
I swing my sword to create a gust. It cleaves the flames, and I leap through the opening to reach Rafayel. Ignoring his trident that's positioned as a barrier before me, I grab his rigid arm and forcefully intertwine our fingers. This is exactly where I should be.
Death will greet those who attempt to wield a sea god's power with a human body.
But I'm the one who has a bond with the sea god. I won't die that easily. As soon as we resonate, a scorching heat that feels like it could burn everything spreads through Raphael's palm to my body. Divine power surges. At the same time, something else flows into my heart. In my days, I realize it's everything Raphael has never put into words. In the dark depths of the oceans, the sea god's rituals hymn drifts down ethereally from the surface. It awakens his anticipation that has been suppressed for eons. During one of Romirro's short summers, the indifferent sea god's heart experienced pure contentment and joy for the first time. After he left the temple with the excuse of searching for pearls, the waves undulated like his fluctuating thoughts. All that time we spent together, my feelings for him were never unrequited. Oh, I love him. Look how he looks. Raphael supports my waist as he hugs me from behind. His embrace is scorching hot.
Feel it. Now wield it as if it were your own.
Divine power collides with my nerves. My blood boils as my eyes become the same color as Raphael's. Power representing heaven and earth advances from between our fingers. The last wave that threatens Romirro is intercepted by fierce flames. Suddenly, the waves freeze just as they're about to surge forward with a howl. A beam of sunlight breaks through the thick clouds and shines upon me and Rafayel. Immediately, the waves fall as if weightless. They shed their ferocity and gently push towards the shore. My heart beats like a drum, but is quickly drowned out by the jubilant distant cheers of relief from those who narrowly escaped disaster.
The tide has receded. Aren't you going to let go of my hand?
I turn my head. The burning divine power in Raphael's eyes slowly fades, and they return to what I'm familiar with. Nah. I will hold you, Raphael. I tighten my grip on his hand. What would you do if I don't let go? A long time passes. Then he smiles faintly.
Keep holding it. Neither of us will let go first.
I love how he sounds in this. Like, his voice in this myth sounds like so, like, you can tell there's a difference in each, like cars or whatever. And it's just like, man, it sounds so nice in this one. Again, last one. Houses that were once submerged reappear. The ships, once swept away, are pushed back to shores by the waves. People emerge from the temple where they sought refuge. They slowly begin to rebuild their home. After finding some medicine in the temple, I return to the shore by the port. Rafayel is leaning against the rocks. Look at all the marks on him. His eyes are closed, and the dim daylight covers his body. His complexion looks paler than it actually is. He's asleep. I dip my finger into the ointment made from gold feather algae, then I evidently apply it to the wounds on his arm. Although he appears alright at first glance, I soon notice several barely imperceptible wounds on his body.
Be gentle. It hurts.
You call me fragile, but a seagull's body isn't that sturdy. Despite saying those words, my movements become slower. I treat his wounds with the utmost care. Weren't you searching for pearls in the deep? Why did you return?
You thought I wouldn't?
I thought you'd be upset for a longer period of time.
I'm not upset.
Oh, look at the
However,
scales on the...
that doesn't mean I didn't care.
Oh, I love this. Okay, it goes holding. Oh, I love it so much. His fingertip touches my palm and gently traces one of his lines.
A Lemurian bond grows stronger with love. The deeper the connection is between the two parties, the more powerful it becomes. Back then, our bond was so powerful, that you were able to seal me away for thousands, no, tens of thousands of years.
I love his voice here.
Only a love with such pure and utter devotion is capable of doing that.
Oh, I love it. I actually saved them. Like, even though they're recording, I actually saved these lines because these were so good. I love hearing his voice here. I picked you jumping to conclusions the last time, so I guess I might. He is jumping to conclusions, to be honest. I think he has technically made peace with it. Aren't you jumping to conclusions? What if I didn't seal you away because I loved you?
Then tell me the truth. Go on now. Why did you seal me away?
His gaze is steadfast yet composed. He's waiting for me to give the answer he already anticipates. I surrendered to his reasoning and gently kissed his cheek. You aren't wrong. After I finish applying the medicine, he stretches his body and brushes away the sand that's clinging to his skin.
I heard you protected many humans.
Yes, at the end of the day, I can't bear to see so many pointless deaths. I still don't like romirro, but I can't bring myself to watch it perish.
You didn't do anything wrong. Watching your kin march toward their demise is a pain more excruciating than dying. You didn't force yourself to endure that suffering. Well done.
Immediately, his tone shifts as he puts on a faux, serious expression.
However, I do have objections in regards to letting those humans turn my bedchamber into a filthy mess.
It's not that bad. At least your pool was cleaned. I already ordered a few people to clean it. I promise your bedchamber will be spotless.
Good.
He pushes himself up, but he pauses as he is about to stand. What is it?
It's nothing.
Surging waves washes over the reef. As the water recedes, his tail transforms into a pair of legs.
Let's return to the temple. I need to see its condition to feel at ease.
I nod a second later. Then I notice a small crack in the necklace shell. After the day, romirro gradually returns to his former state. There are no more sudden high tides and no more unexpected storms. The text in the tone of the sea god remains the same. The nightmare of romirro being submerged seems to vanish into the thin air along with the overcast sky. The prophecy didn't come to fruition. Romirro won't sink. The sea god and his bride protected us. We must express our gratitude and worship them forever. The people are immersed in the joy of surviving the catastrophe. They renovated the temple so that it's more magnificent and elaborate, erect taller statues, and supply Rafayel and me with endless streams of gifts. But has the dust truly settled?
Your Highness.
I've never seen anything like this.
Passing through the crowd of onlookers, Vera hurriedly approaches. She bows before me. On the shore lies a dead, enormous silver fish. It's almost as long as several adult men if it were lying down and lined up in a row.
It was discovered by the fishermen who were preparing to set sail this morning. We don't know if the fish washed ashore after it died or beached itself.
Maybe this enormous fish is a good omen from the heavens. We might have a bountiful fishing season in the near future.
I approach the creature to get a closer look. The unease that has been lingering in my heart grows heavier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the calamitous Pisces as mentioned in the ancient texts. It's a harbinger of misfortune and omen of disaster. The dark clouds that appeared during the lunar eclipse hasn't fully dissipated, and now the calamitous Pisces has appeared. Romirro could still sink below the waves. It's like the prophecy was delayed, but it could still technically happen any other time. For now, I can only act as if nothing is wrong. Worry not. Find a suitable place to bury it and clean up this area.
Yes, Your Highness. By the way, Romirro was spared thanks to you and the sea god. The people want to prepare a feast to properly celebrate. They wish to invite you and the sea god.
I understand. We'll discuss it when the time comes. I walk towards the temple and I tighten my grip around the seashell necklace. The crack has deepened these past few days. The seashell has begun to fracture in other places as well. I don't want to guess what this means. I just need to see Rafayel quickly. Maybe then I can dispel some of the unease in my heart. Yeah, this was like foreshadowing that something bad, like wrong, was really happening. Rafayel, I need to ask you. Rafayel? Stopping the storm that night consumed too much of Rafayel's power. He's been staying in the temple to rest. Yet right now, I sense something is off. I don't hear the sound of flowing water by the pool. When I left, he was still dozing by the water's edge. I rushed to the pool only to find that the springs have dried up. The water resembles an inky black void. Worried that something happened to him, I dive into the water. The black water is unbearably cold. I grit my teeth and dive deeper. I soon spot Rafayel's figure. He appears to be unconscious as he sinks into this nothingness. Rafayel! Yeah, so at this point, it was pretty much given that he was slowly dying. Mustering all the strength I can, I grab him. However, I'm not strong enough to pull him up. This won't work. I need to wake him up. I steady my breathing while I press my hand against his chest. I try to resonate so I can awaken some of his power. Yet time passes, there's still no response. His power is like the dried up spring. With most of it gone, it cannot respond to my resonance or voice. Why is it like this? After the initial shock, I'm momentarily at a loss. Then I notice the churning currents rushing into the deep. A boulder deal appears before me. This location is closely connected to the sea god. I hold the unconscious Rafayel tightly against me and swim in the direction of the current. Fortunately, my guess was correct. The pool's current is connected to the sea itself, which allowed me to successfully get Rafayel out of the temple. I prop Rafayel against the reef, recalling how he summoned the Fantasia shark. I make the same gesture he did and bring my hand to my lips. I whistle. After many clumsy attempts, I finally succeed. The skeletal Fantasia shark appears in the distance as the far end of the sea. He swims to my side and uses his rigid, bony snout to give me a friendly nudge to my hand. Can you take Rafayel and me to the sea god's tomb again? It doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying, so I repeat myself several times. Finally, it extends its fin bone and gestures for Rafayel and me to climb onto his back. Thank you. After I study Rafayel on his back, the Fantasia shark turns around and transfers us to the ocean's depths. Yeah, we were trying really hard because we knew that he was slowly dying here, and we needed to find a way to save him at this point. Unexpectedly, we arrive at the sea god's tomb with ease. Maybe it's because Rafayel has already passed the trial. Even the guardian statues pose no challenge. After I explained the reasoning for our visit, they allowed us to pass through the stone gates.
Young sea god. Oh, it's you two again.
New Quintessence, I'm here to make a request. I need your help. The statue of the sea god with a long beard lethargically lowers his weapon. He slowly turns his head to look at the unconscious Rafayel.
He is about to fade from existence. He still needs to reclaim his true power. Yet he almost exhausted the small amount of divine energy he possesses.
What did he do to end up in such a state?
What a shame. He will become the youngest sea god to fade away in our history.
Several more sea god statues move out from their stone niches. They soon join the discussion. Is there a way to save him? He can't fade away like this.
Of course.
He needs true love.
He needs a heart that loves him unconditionally.
When he obtains the power to protect Lemuria, and the ocean recognizes his ascension to godhood, he will live for a long, long time. An almost immortal life.
This is the only way to save him.
A heart that loves him unconditionally. I recall the hidden prophecy from the Tomb of the Sea God. A heart that's filled with love is the best offering for a Lemurian. Can our heart save him? The sea gods speak in hushed tones. Then the statue of the sea god with the long beard extends his hand towards me.
Are you willing to try?
Of course.
It will hurt. Bear with me for a moment.
The ancient sea god clenches his fist and a sharp pain shoots through my heart. As he guides the process, several threads of gentle light are drawn out. Strand by strand, they float into Rafayel's chest. Enduring the lingering pain, I place my hand over him to try to resonate again. There's a response.
Your pure heart and the devotion from your love is enough. However, you will dissipate into sea foam once you give up this heart. That decision is yours to make.
The sea god's tomb. How did I end up here?
You've been unconscious for a long time. These sea gods woke you up. I quickly speak before the sea gods can say anything, then I bow respectfully to them. The sea god with the long beard gives me a profound, knowing look before slowly turning towards Rafayel.
The last sea god of Lemuria. May you find true salvation.
Thank you.
The sea god statues slowly retreat into the niches. Rafayel turns around and I meet his intense gaze.
You're hiding something from me.
You're the one who's been hiding things from me. You're expended too much of your power. Your body can't sustain itself anymore.
Are you underestimating me? Defying a prophecy from the tome of the sea god did take a considerable toll on me. But I'll recover in a century, give or take.
The prophecy hasn't changed though. Romirro will still be submerged, yes? Seeing Rafayel's expression, my heart sinks. I was correct.
Yes. But that doesn't mean it can't be changed. Romirro wasn't destroyed on the third night of the lunar eclipse, so for now, it won't sink below the waves. This is our turning point. Stop frowning. Let tomorrow worry about itself. As for the present...
He takes my hand and summons water currents to carry us upward.
It's almost dawn. We might be able to watch the sunrise as we head back.
After returning from the sea god's tomb, Rafayel seems to have returned to his normal self. The water in the pool has become clear again. He also doesn't spend the entire day inside the temple. Instead, he enthusiastically takes me along to explore remote streets, alleys, and the wilderness. There's a tiny fragment of this heart's power is enough to revitalize him. If he received an entire heart, perhaps I'm still selfish. Faced with such a choice, I still cannot let go of my desire to live. But time is cruel and doesn't give me the opportunity to hesitate. After a night of rain, dark clouds once again spread across the sky above Romirro. The time Rafayel spends sleeping in the water increases with each passing day. And my necklace shell has developed a deeper, longer crack. Rafayel, the sky is cleared. Should we go to the foot of Mount Onuna? The rest of my words are stuck in my throat. A large section of Rafayel's tail that's immersed in the water has turned into a dull gray white.
You're overthinking it. Humans have all sorts of hair colors. Why can't my tail change color? So, what were you saying about the foot of Mount Onuna?
I think Rafayel knows that he's dying, but he doesn't want to say it to MC either. Like, he doesn't want to say it to us, so it's like, it's frustrating and sad to see, like, them two having such a difference in what they want to do. I was just wondering if you would like to go out for a walk. He pauses, and his tail sways gently beneath the water's surface.
I'm not in the mood.
You can't turn your tail into a pair of legs anymore?
Your imagination is getting wilder by the day.
He parsed the ripples on the water's surface. Under the undulating waves, his tail transforms into legs.
You wake me from my peaceful nap and throw an accusation.
He adjusts his position to rest his head on my lap. He closes his eyes.
You owe me a sweet dream.
Alright. I gently stroke the top of his head and lean down to kiss him. The seashell around my neck dangles. It sways in front of Rafayel's peaceful, sleeping expression. The cracks on its surface are glaring. I grasp the shoe sole and gently try to wipe away those marks. I pretend not to see the scales on his legs. I pretend Raphael isn't showing any signs of something being off. I pretend that everything on this land will remain as peaceful as it is today. Several days later. Bouquets, lanterns, music, the plaza and the port is immersed in the sounds of celebration. It's like a grand farewell ceremony to disaster. Raphael stands far away from the humans. He watches the figure who's in the center of the crowd. She seems somewhat uncomfortable with this amount of enthusiasm. Slowly, however, the corners of her mouth curl. A slight smile appears on her face. He recalls those long stretches of time at the bottom of the silent ocean. The only sound he heard was the faint rattling of chains. With his eyes closed, he would construct an illusory world in his mind. He would imagine the splendor and wonder of Whalefall City, the place that has long been forgotten. Then, a different voice broke into his world one day. Stupid tone of the sea god, you're worthless in every sense of the word. If you're actually useful, you would have revealed the sea god's location. What gives you the right to only disclose the whereabouts of the bride of the sea god? It was a discordious voice. It can be considered too loud to a certain extent, yet it was like the sun that occasionally appeared above the sea. You realized it was impossible to dislike. Using what little strength he had, he spoke to her for the first time. Perhaps the ending was already predetermined from that moment. The sea god must kill his bride. To truly ascend to godhood, he must destroy their bond. He refused his fate before, but now he doesn't want to accept this either.
We might have to actually bid each other farewell.
He recalls the moment when she first spoke his name. With fingertips stained in their blood, he traces his name into the palm of her hand, one letter at a time. Even so, he couldn't intertwine his fate with hers along with the lines of her palm. In this way, they were spared from separation.
I need to leave Romirro again. We won't be seeing each other for some time.
I frantically search for Raphael's figure in the crowd, but I only catch a message the sea breeze carried to me. Fortunately, a bond guides me to him. In a lit corner, I catch Raphael's fingers.
You were in a hurry. Are you scared I'd leave without saying goodbye?
Where are you going?
I'm just looking for pearls. Once I recover that part of my power, I'll return.
Yeah, it's like they both knew, like, that he needed more, and he obviously didn't want to use it, so that's why he was like, I'm gonna leave and just kind of recover or recharge or something to get his power back before coming back to us. I don't believe you. His life force is fading away at an alarming rate. Under the illusion of an intact sheath shell lies the reality cracks becoming increasingly more severe. His heart is also riddled with countless wounds. Raphael, is there anything you need me to do for you? Tell me. No matter what it is, I'll do it. Just say that you want your heart back. I'll return it to you.
No.
How long will you be gone?
It's hard to say. Maybe it'll be a year or two, a century or more. Perhaps even longer than that. Don't worry. Even after I'm gone, you and Romirro will survive. This is a god's promise to you.
What is he planning to do? If he's making this kind of promise, he means he'll do something that I don't want to imagine. I won't be able to accept it. So, when are you leaving? Let me see you off.
All right. I'll wait for you at sea.
My fingernails dig into my palm. The hesitation that swelled in my heart has crystallized into resolve. I will fulfill the promise I once made. Yeah, so she used this opportunity to do what she did at the very end. Look at him just appearing up. Boop. Oh, this is so pretty already.
It's a simple melody, yet you still haven't learned it properly.
Romirro taught me how to be a ruler, not a musician.
Listen carefully. This is the last time I'll teach you.
I love how this looks. This is so beautiful. The tides have changed.
The sea inevitably returns to where it belongs and separates from the land.
But the sea always meets the shore. We can always see each other again. Oh my god. It's so intense. Like, it's so beautiful too. Like, look at this. I don't know how they can make making out under the sea just so beautiful. And the way he holds her, the way he's hugging her, oh, that makes me sad. Like, it's so beautiful, it makes me sad, like, what happens after. Like, I love this. It's so beautiful.
You want to say something else?
I pray to the sea. I hope every ocean current carries you to bright, warm places.
The sea heard your wish.
You said it once was part of your heart. It's time to return it to where it belongs.
The place you hold in my heart far outweighs this little scale.
Because of my selfishness, I took something that belongs to you. Oh, look at him. I'm not ready to see this again. God damn it. With the power of the sea vow, last vow, a covenant. Look at his face. No. Reclaim this heart and end that everlasting bond.
No, I refuse to accept this betrayal.
Although a covenant has been broken, I'll become one with the sea and stay. This heart can save you, and Romirro, my death is worth more than my life. It's like heart-wrenching to see, like she was willing to give up her life like that. Seeing him cry, you know, it's hard to see. Daylight has arrived. Tides surge, waves build upon waves. They're so powerful that they scatter the clouds in the sky. The black seawater bleeds crimson, then the red fades and takes the darkness with it. The sea's original azure hues appear. The bells in Romirro toll ceaselessly as massive waves engulf the world. The land is transformed into a seabed. Seawater envelops every house, every patch of soil, every mountain range. It whispers and returns the memories from millions of years ago. Everyone steps onto a strangely familiar homeland. They breathe the air that flows in the seawater. Lemurian and Waries awaken in their blood. Phantasmal whales leap from the water and return to the sea. They swim through the city that has been reborn, Whalefall City. The sea god stares at his hand. There lies the pearl ring given to him by a young woman. It still gleams with a lustrous radiance, and gently encircles his finger. It's like her embrace has never let him go. It shall keep him bound to the sea forevermore. Now, because now is like the pearl ring is the only thing he has of her now. So now he's just staring at it, holding it. He's gonna have it with him forever, and it's just like he doesn't have his bride anymore. Yeah. Overall, this was really sad. So it's like such a beautifully like tragic story for Rafayel here. Like I said, since I don't know his lore for the God of Tides myth in particular, I'm like, oh, you know, it kind of talks about it here and has some correlations with certain things, but it's like, you know, just seeing how like tragic this ends, because obviously he didn't want to use her again, and he was trying to leave, and then she took the opportunity to tell him, oh, please off me now, because you know I can do so right now before you leave. And seeing him so sad, just it hurts. It breaks my heart. It hurts my inside seeing him like that. But this was overall just a beautiful story to read. Like I said, knowing that at the time, at them first meeting, they didn't really know each other. Then as the time went on, they got to fall in love with each other, figured out what happened in the God of Tides myth, where they revealed their memories together. And even after that, they still wanted to do certain things, but they didn't want to do it the way that they wanted to have. But now that she's gone here, he's probably just very distraught and doesn't know what to do at this point. And I just feel really bad seeing what happened to Rafayel here in MC, and I wish things would have worked out better, but she knew it was not going to work out because he was slowly dying, and he was just trying to find other ways to like recharge himself, but it wasn't working. She just needed her heart sadly, and that's what happened. She was willing to do so, and to help save the town of Romirro, because it was such a special place for her, even after the mistreatment that they did to her and when she was younger. Overall, like I said, this was just a beautifully like sad story to hear. I hope you guys enjoyed this myth and my reaction to it. Like I said, I'm really sorry that I couldn't give you my honest reactions to chapter 8 and 9 because my recording for that for some reason just was gone, so I just, you know, re-recording it here again. But like I said, I hope you guys still enjoyed the whole entirety of this myth story. Like I said, Rafayel, even if he's not my main, I just thoroughly enjoy this, and it was so beautiful. The cutscenes are so freaking gorgeous in this that, man, like they upped their games, and I can't wait to see how the other myths are going to be like after this, because this is pretty much just the first out of the second year of myths, I guess, as this is going. But yeah, overall, I love the story, and I hope you guys did too, and my reaction to it. So like I said, I wish you guys luck on getting this card if you guys haven't pulled yet, and if you guys do, let me know what you think of the story in the comments down below. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.